going on, everybody? Welcome back to the conversation today. Um, had some good goals, had some decent games today. Be honest with you that Atleti Barcelona game was a good game. However, I'm very uh impressed, very impressed with Atletico at certain times, but a little disappointed in Barcelona. Not gonna lie. Hansi Flick with a crazy decision to sub Pedri, which I didn't understand, especially when you look at the way they still had possession of the game, um, even being down a man. So, there's a lot of question marks here, a lot of question marks that um, maybe make this Champions League more open than I originally thought. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, big big up, Mateo. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, that free kick was freaking class. That free kick was absolute class. The referee almost had a terrible call by trying to give a yellow card to Simeone and try to call him for diving. I don't know where the hell he got that one from. Maybe it was the angle uh, of it, but Karbasi, bad tackle, was going to be a red card every single time when you look at it. And then, man, oh man, Desiree Doué and my guy Varashelia, boy, that 2-0 flatters Liverpool because PSG should have done so much more with Liverpool. So much more with Liverpool. Liverpool should have got taken to the absolute shed tonight, like old Yeller. That scoreline should have been way worse than that. They were so lucky that PSG didn't have their shooting boots all the way on. Desiree Doué, Varashelia, absolute show they put on against Liverpool today. Absolute show. Absolute unbelievable show. Big up Luca. Big up Luca. Doué is the dream replacement for Trossard. Doué is the dream replacement for the right hand side, my friend. If Saka doesn't come back, Vara is who I would love to go on the left hand side. If I'm being quite honest with you, but maybe I got a little bias because of he was at Napoli first, and the same shit that you're seeing him do at PSG, he was doing at Napoli. So absolutely unbelievable. But we'll see what's going on. It could be Arsenal and Bayern. I'll be honest with you, but I'll be honest with you as well. Though I think Atletico won't be that easy to what people are gonna think. Yes, Barca did not play their best game today, and Atletico, they knew what they were doing. So I'll be honest with you, Atletico looks a much different team in this attack now than what it was when we last played them. But you know what? You never know. You never know. To start off, I mean, Liverpool, they had a couple opportunities here in the game, but it wasn't really much. We'll start with this game. PSG and Liverpool. I mean, PSG, I think Liverpool might have had 4 shots the entire game. I mean, PSG absolutely embarrassed that team today. Absolutely embarrassed Liverpool, controlled the game left, right, and center. Big up, Mateo. Appreciate you stopping by for the conversation, my guy. Appreciate it. Yeah, PFC. Yeah, man. PSG should have won 5-0 today. Liverpool, that scoreline flatters Liverpool because PSG was toying with them. They were just toying with Liverpool. It was a bad look from Liverpool today. It was a bad look from Liverpool today, I'll be honest with you. Liverpool, listen, Anfield nights they always talk about. I don't think that's happening. I don't think Anfield nights are going to be happening for Liverpool in this. Anfield needs a miracle. They need a miracle in order to come back in this one. That was absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Slot's got to go. I mean, let's be honest. If we're looking at this objectively, he's got to go. They need to bring in another manager immediately. So Vara was unplayable, man. Vara, this kid is just on straight smoke right now. What he's doing to teams is absolutely ridiculous. What he's done to Chelsea and now what he's done to Liverpool is absolutely unbelievable. I'll be honest with you, a Bayern PSG matchup in the semifinal is going to be a damn good matchup. But I'll be honest with you, I do appreciate Bayern, but PSG is going to give them all they can handle, because that was some serious stuff going on with PSG today. I think Bayern with Real, they left Real open a little bit to where Real could have scored and kept it level. So, but Bayern did play well again yesterday as well. So for me, I don't know, man. That side is going to be very interesting. Atletico, the thing that for me, I feel like Arsenal has a better chance to possibly beat Atletico Madrid than Barca. However, I at the same time, what worries me when you look at that game with Sporting Lisbon yesterday, we really need Timber back. That left-hand side, our right-hand side gets so wide open with Ben White, and I would be scared with the way that Atletico is able to overlap with their players, their forward players. When you look at Julian Alvarez, Griezmann, Simeone, and Lookman, they just look like that could be a whole lot of a problem to deal with on the counter. Koke, he's a little old. I think Koke is not what he used to be, but they still looked good, and I think this could be this could be a very interesting situation. But yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. Big up, Carl. What's going on, my guy?
Even my bro, we're good. Big up, chat. Well, it was a lot better football than what we saw of last night. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
that was a bit of a flipping disaster, Carl, what we saw of last night. Tonight was a lot more better. Barcelona, they're a very, very good team, but their kryptonite, it has always been Diego Simeone. Every time Atletico play Barcelona, Atletico just seem to have this way of how to just they weather the storm really well against Barcelona, and then when they attack, they go full throttle at them. And you saw when they put the ball over the top, Barca's back line just couldn't contain them. Alvarez was on a mad one. Sorloth, I've always rated Sorloth. He's a fantastic striker. He's always popping up on the score sheet all the time. Yeah, I can't get my head around the fact why Hansi Flick literally took Pedri off. That's your most creative. That's your number one. I know he's just been booked in that, but he's your number one creative midfielder. You get a goal back before full time. It's 2-1. Okay, it's a bit awkward still, but you can still go back to the Metropolitano and still like take an extra time or something, or go beat him 2-0, whatever. But the fact he took him off, is Hansi Flick playing scared? It did look like he was playing scared because they played with 10 men for pretty much for all of the second half. But they were on the ascendancy. They were pushing Atletico Madrid back and back all the way. I thought when you play with 10 men, you're supposed to sit back and just stem the bleeding. Clearly, that doesn't happen in La Liga. But no, Atletico played really, really well. Alvarez's free kick. Oh my word. Oh, chef's kiss. You can't beat anything like that. And as soon as I saw it lined up, guys, this is going top bin. Which side, I don't care. It's going top bin. But even that, it didn't go top bin. It went sort of like just inside of the post. And Matridelli should have actually, could he have positioned himself better? I think he was at full stretch for it. It was still a good goal nonetheless. But fair play to Atletico. But listen, whoever I wanted in the next round, this might sound really cliche for everything, but I would have preferred Barcelona over Atletico. Sorry?
To get revenge?
Well, I didn't have revenge on my mind, but thanks for bringing that up. But no, I think it's more to do with the way both teams play. Where Barcelona, they can attack you and literally they can cut you open whenever they feel like it. However, though, if all you got to do, if you play a 4-3-3 and you just have speedy wingers, so let's just say let's say Arsenal's front three is consists of Martinelli, Yokeres, and let's say Noni Madueke. They are your three fastest players that you got right now. And maybe Dalman, but Dalman won't come on until it comes off the bench, right? But all you got to do is just play long balls over the top. All you got to do is play 1-2 counter-attack, and you get at that Barca defense. Whereas Atletico I feel like they're more structurally sound. I feel like they can pick you apart when they want to, but they also are not going to push as many men forward as what everyone else thinks. I feel like it's all about tactical management. We know Diego Simeone can shithouse his way. He can tell his team to play beautiful football, but he can also stink the joint out at the same time as well to say, right, okay, enough's enough. That's it. Let's just play 2 banks of 4. Just say, come and break us down. So I would have preferred Barcelona because I think defensively they're a little bit more vulnerable. Atletico's is more sound. However, we have beaten them. But the problem is, though, is that flipping back to last year in the Champions League for Arsenal, we played PSG in the league phase and we beat them comfortably. What happened in the semi-final? They turned it over on us. Could be lightning strikes twice if we get Atletico Madrid and they take us out.
Oh, yeah, because
we'll find out.
Yeah, because listen, Atletico can't attack. Atletico then didn't attack the way they did now. Atletico, the way they attack is much different now than what it was in the group phase. Lookman adds an entirely different dynamic to the team. I mean, look, he took Alex Baena's starting position, and Baena's still a hell of a baller as well. But Lookman's come in and really taken that left wing into his own position since he got there, and he adds a different dynamic to the team. And that's why I said with Atletico, my worry with Atletico is that, like you said, if you look at the difference from yesterday, the way Sporting played, particularly in the first half, they gave us on a platter. We should have scored multiple goals with the way they were turning the ball over and where they were turning it over in their own half when they tried playing out. Atletico, if they do the same thing, they're good for Atletico is good for mistakes. You saw a couple of opportunities that Barcelona got where Atletico turned the ball over close to their own net. If they try to do too much, Atletico can be had as far as turnovers. The worry is that they will not play out from the back the way that Sporting did. They're going to sit back and counter. And again, if Ben White was getting pulled out by the left winger from Southampton, what does Lookman do on that side?
Yeah. And you mentioned about Julian Timber returning as well for him. I think if Timber's not playing that right side is completely fucked. Completely fucked. There's no way. Watching Ben White play last night was just a travesty. And partly it's not all down to him because his manager has completely destroyed him. Completely and utterly destroyed him. But also you still have to be professional. And for back-to-back games now, he hasn't played good at all. So if yeah, that was a rough game for Ben White. But
straight games. It's been 3 straight games where he's been it's been 3 straight games that he hasn't looked good because he hasn't looked good. He wasn't good in the League Cup final either.
Yeah, the Cup final he didn't look good in. Definitely not.
And then you add in yesterday. I mean, he man, listen, Sporting that tie is not over with, even though we have the advantage. My worry when you look at the situation when you play Atletico versus Barca, Atletico, the onus will be on us to go forward. You know, that's how Simeone plays. The onus will be on us to go forward. There's not much creativity in that middle, especially with the way we got Odegaard running around like an idiot. So at the end of the day, I don't see the creativity where the onus is on us. If we get caught out and they score one, that's a big problem for us because the creativity is a problem.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by something in the chat there. Sorry, my apologies.
Yep.
But no, I agree. I think
real quick. I don't want to hear nothing about this Jez and Lee Gunner shit going on. That's none of my concern. I'm cool with both of them. That's none of my concern. Let's not bring that up over here. It is what it is. Okay? That's between them. They're 2 grown individuals. It ain't got shit to do with me. Don't bring that over here in the chat. Just leave it alone. It is what it is. No. Sorry, Carl.
That's fine, mate. But listen, it's going to be a tough ask whichever way you get it. The problem is the Sporting, apart from the one shot where Diamante hit that ball over the top and they hit the crossbar, or rather, David Raya saved our bacon again and clipped it on top of the crossbar. Apart from that, I don't really think the Sporting really troubled us. They were in and around our penalty box, but they never pulled the trigger. They never gave They didn't really
Well,
get
the fullback fucked up that one where he tried controlling it off the bounce and he just sent it wide. If he puts it straight in the middle, it's a 1-on-1 with Raya. So
if that was, I'll give you a prime example. If that was Cancelo on the ball, he buries it.
He buries it, or he puts it across for the assist. Either way,
for the assist, either way, yeah. So yeah, that was a stutter on that one. Thing is, if we'd come with a draw, be like, the thing is, people say, "Oh yeah, we're happy with taking it back to 1-0." I said on my preview after I fucking lost my shit with the press conference again, I basically said that we really need to win this game something like 4-5-0. Not because I think we deserve to, but because of the fact the amount of games we've got coming up. Yep. Bournemouth on Saturday. Not going to be an easy game. Then you got to finish off Sporting for the second leg. If you win 4-5-0 in the first leg, you could probably rest some of your starters because what's coming down the pipe? Away to City. Mm-hmm. That is that could be the do or die for our season, depending how it all pans out. Now, listen, we got the win. I want to throw a question out to you, and there's a very good question to the chat as well. I probably know what the answer is. Are we the biggest scammers in club football right now? Can you name another team that's the big that can scam their way this badly? Yeah. Apart from Stoke City, but that's a different kettle of fish.
I mean, Atletico at a time was a bigger scammer than us with some of the ways they got it. They won two league titles for it. So I don't know if I can say that with us. I mean, here's the thing. If you don't put a team away, then it is what it is, if you get the win or if it's a scam win or whatever. Sporting had plenty of opportunities, especially at the start of the second half. That first 15 to 20 minutes after the second half, they started attacking left, right, and center, started playing with the ball more on the ground and not aerially like they did in the first half. And they caused us more problems when they were attacking that midfield. I mean, the midfield for us didn't look too bad in the first half. The second half, in the first 20 minutes, I mean, Declan Rice was just walking because he was so tired, trying to stop them with their quick 1-2s and everything across the middle. So for me, the Sporting situation is not over. If they attack us a whole game, I'm really interested to see how we're going to go on with that. And that's why I said, for me, I'm a little bit worried with Big Up Rob. I'm a little bit worried but also interested when I look at this situation that it could potentially be Atletico, because like I said, my worry is that the onus is on us to go forward when it's Atletico, not to try to counter if it's Barcelona. So that's me, but I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though. The reverse side semifinal, if it's PSG and Bayern, is going to be a badass fucking matchup because
that's going to be quality. That's going to be a quality semifinal.
PSG, them three up top are on straight fucking bullshit.
We didn't even.
Vara and Desiree Doué are Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Doué's quality. That I wouldn't mind being on the left hand side for Arsenal. That I wouldn't mind at all.
What about that on that left hand side? What about the run Vara made through dropping the goalie, dropping 4 guys? That guy is insane, man. That guy Vara is insane.
And we could go on for 65 million euros, but hey, only matter what he's available.
2.5 million. 2.5 million is what Arsenal refused to pay to get him over Napoli.
But by the way, red card for you. I'm just interested to know both of your thoughts, Gianni and Carl. Big up to both of you. And big up to all
time.
I'm curious to know, is that a red card in Bath Atleti then?
Yeah.
That's last man.
Yeah.
Last man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I didn't know why there was a controversy about it. Like they were
I think it was the way there was the contact initiated. Apparently, I thought the Atletico Madrid striker had his leg in a bent area. That's why the defender caught him a bit. So
the controversy was also that he gave a yellow to Simeone, throwing himself to the ground. Because listen, it's 100% a red card, but Simeone definitely helped out. I mean, talking about taking lessons from his dad, he definitely helped out with fucking getting with adding the fucking the way that he went down to it, spiced it up for it to definitely be a red card. But it was a red card. There's last man.
The funny thing is, I actually messaged one of my mates as soon as the free kick was taken that the free kick was being taken too far back. And then now I look at it again, I'm like, oh, actually, maybe it wasn't then.
Right. No,
that enabled him to get the bend on the ball. I think maybe him being a bit further back actually enabled him to actually score.
At the end of the day, there is contact. It might be, yeah, you're right. Simeone might have made a little bit of a fucking meatloaf out of it, but at the end of the day, you are also giving the referee a decision to make then whether or not to blow his whistle. And this is why VAR is involved as well. This is why VAR, everyone hates VAR for most part, but this is partly one of the reasons why it does work, because you think, oh, hang on, there is contact there, but is it played up or is there more to it than meets the eye?
I couldn't believe it's a yellow. I couldn't believe he initially gave it as a yellow.
The yellow was to Simeone. It wasn't to the center back. It was
the yellow was to Simeone.
The yellow was to Simeone trying to milk it. He tried to get him for flopping.
The only thing that would have saved, sorry, I keep getting different names wrong. Barcelona's defender that got sent off.
Cubarsí,
thank you. The only thing that would have saved Cubarsí is if was it Alvaro? No, Simeone was in an offside position. That was the only thing that was the only thing that would have saved him. And sadly he didn't. He was a finger. It was a finger onside about.
Yeah, I mean, look. Look, overall, I would much rather face Atletico than Barca in the semifinals. However, Atletico brings its own toughness. And I mean, we talk about the question with Arsenal, do we have the mental capability for certain levels? There's not a worse team to try to test that against with Atletico. We know, as you pointed out, the shithousery that comes with Atletico, but these guys can also play. And they look much better going forward than what it was in the league phase. And as I said, my only worry with a matchup against Atletico is the onus is on us to go forward. And I don't really see any creativity coming from this forward line with us, plus Odegaard, to try to get us over the line to try to get to the final. I mean, what do you guys think about this matchup?
I mean, the thing is, it's what we've discussed for a while. It's kind of like, it's the moments. It's not the teams. It's the moments. It's the stage of the season. And this is the problem that we have when we're trying to kind of like fight this Arteta battle, is that bloody hell, we need to wait until April to then be proven correct again. And look, I'm not saying, look, maybe we will win the league. Okay, I bloody hope we will win the league. You know how much I live in fucking near Tottenham. You know how much grief I got from the Europa League, Tottenham winning the Europa League. You don't think I want us to win the fucking league? Do you know what I mean? So, sorry. But yeah, it's kind of craziness, man. And I just feel like we cannot deal. We have repeatedly proven that we cannot deal with these pressure situations. And I can't have any faith, and I don't mean to sound negative. Obviously, we won the game 1-0, but like, it's just, okay, cool, we did that. But then if we come up against an Atleti or we come up against a Barcelona, it's not going to happen, is it? So Champions League for me is just like, no, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. And I don't want to be saying that. I want to have chess. I've fought this club since 1993.
I don't think we. Hold on. I still don't think we win. Because I don't see, with the way our defense and everybody looks ragged, I don't want to see any part of what could happen if we get PSG again. PSG for me is the biggest worry out of all these teams for us to face if we get them in the final. Bayern looked good against Real Madrid, but they still gave away opportunities to where Real could have tied that game up. And it's
the problem is though, Real haven't played that good. They haven't looked convincing all throughout their season. So there's that to think. There's that to look forward to. Bayern Munich, although they're good, they're not the old Bayern Munich that used to be absolutely ruthless with the likes of freaking Oliver Kahn and Jose Closer and so, you know, all those guys. They're not what they once used to be. They're still a lethal threat, but compared to but PSG right now on smoke.
Yeah,
and they are the reigning defending champions as well. You know, Luis Enrique, he'll have a statue outside of Paris if he retains that Champions League for PSG.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Dal, what'd you make of these two games today?
I did. Big up Gianni, big up Carl, big up Quaja, and big up Rob.
Okay.
Big up everyone in the chat.
Big up, Dal, man. Big up.
I only watched the second half of the Barca Atletico Madrid game. Both teams are good, bro. Both teams are good. I mean, they're all here. All the teams that are in it now are there for a reason. We're in it for a reason. The performance yesterday wasn't the best. I'll give it that. But it's about moments. And we've talked about this before, right? Even I believe on your channel. It's about moments. Great ball from Martinelli. Incredible composure by Kai Havertz. And we come out there 1-0 winners, right? But I still think we're going to beat them next Tuesday. But I don't think we beat, to be honest, the way we've been playing, right? We don't beat any of these teams when it comes down to it, except for, Sporting. We get away from Sporting. I would rather have Atletico than Barcelona just because of, I think Barcelona has more killers, right? Yeah. But Atletico shows that, it's 10 men playing together, right? It's team football. They passed it around Barcelona today, that second half. We don't play like that, right? We don't do the tiki-taka thing. We hump it up long to Gyökeres and hopes he gets a foot on it or play it out wide and go for corners. So I just think that any team after the Lisbon tie is going to be difficult. We're going to have to really revamp how we approach some of these games, and Arteta has to have a plan, right? And right now I think we're void of a plan, right? It showed yesterday. It showed in the quarterfinals, right? It showed against Southampton. Like, we can't beat Southampton, but we're expecting to beat Barca, Atletico, PSG, it's dumb, bro. It's just, there's no way. These teams are another level. Even Bayern Munich are another level above us, right? They're just more of a complete team. They don't really have, you could point out some weaknesses, maybe on the left or right, but overall, those weaknesses get overshadowed by greatness, right? They have players that are killers. Right. And like someone said earlier in the chat, I think I was watching Lee's reaction show off and on, and somebody put in the chat that even with Barcelona missing chances, right? But they're still, or no, it was PSG. PSG are 1-0 up, missing chances and still attacking.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but that's opposite of what we do. That is completely opposite of what we do, unless it's some lower league team. Or maybe on a good day it's Spurs or Villa, right? Those are two of the best games we've played all season long. But I don't believe that anybody else who's in the competition right now, we're better than. We will have moments possibly, but we aren't going to outplay any of these teams. Plain and simple.
PSG knocked the snot out of Liverpool.
They're more of a solid team than we are.
Yeah, they knocked the snot out of Liverpool tonight. It could have easily been 5-6-0. They could have stuck in Liverpool in the necrophilia challenge within half an hour.
Yeah,
that was how bad.
I didn't watch the game. I saw it was 1-0, Carl, and I was like, oh yeah, this is done. Like, there's no way Liverpool's coming back. Right? We know they're just not good enough. Right?
They got played off the park. Let's be real. Liverpool got played off the park today. That 2-0 scoreline flatters Liverpool, because that should have damn near been a 4-5 nothing score line in Paris. Easy 4-5 nothing score line in Paris with all the chances they missed. Liverpool's happy to just be there. Liverpool's just happy to be there. Yeah, exactly. They just got smoked 4-0 by City. They were there to just make sure that the score line didn't get out of hand. And they were lucky that PSG didn't have their shooting boots on, because PSG should have the tie is over on 2-0, but it should have really been over on a bigger score line than what it was. For you, Dal, the only thing that worries me, here we have to see the extent of the Hanko injury, because Hanko's been a very important part of Atletico's season, with being the other center back there with Lenormand. Although Jimenez still is a decent center back if he's going to be the replacement, but I don't know. I know he wasn't on the bench today, so I wonder if he's hurt as well. My worry with Atletico for Arsenal is the onus is going to be on us going forward. I think my worry is that because we don't have the creativity and some of the balls, the way that we pass it around just sideways to sideways, I'm worried about that counterattack from Atletico. What they have, are you worried about that as well?
Yeah.
I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you. If Sporting Lisbon, that 15, 20 minutes into the second half, when they started passing the ball quicker, they looked 10 times more dangerous than what they were in the first half. Now, that left-hand side with Ben White is a worry if Ben White's got to deal with Lookman the whole
100%.
night.
I was just thinking the exact same thing, bro. Exact same thing. If Ben White's going to struggle against the Southampton winger, Lookman is a whole nother meal, so to speak. Right.
And the same thing with PSG's offense, the way they interchange. Atletico's got all four guys interchanging. There was times where you saw Alvarez out on the right wing. You saw him on the left wing, Lookman coming more middle. The only guy that really stays around his position is Griezmann, but that's because he's trying to link up the play for the guys. And then on the right-hand side as well with Simeone, my worry is that if we get Atletico, we have to be very clinical fast with them. We have to score first over them. Or bottom line, we have to score first against Atletico because we have to force them out of their shell. Because if they're just going to sit back and defend and try to hit on the counterattack, we're going to have problems. Because my worry is that if Timber's not healthy,
I think the same can be said for them, though, bro. If they hit first, we have to come out of our shell.
True.
Right. True. And then, and are we that good on the counter? I'm not so sure. But Ben White on the right side is an absolute liability against Lookman. There's just no. I mean, that's peas and corn, bro.
It's Simeone, no? Calafiori versus Simeone as well could be a liability.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're just overall, like you guys know, we're just not playing well together as a unit. It just doesn't look right? Like even in the final, like we couldn't trap a ball, bro. Even against Southampton, we just couldn't trap a ball and do a half turn. Like just the fucking basics look absolutely like out of our depth. No one really communicating. No one giving any like real cues of where to run to. You know, Odegaard giving directions to Dauman and back heels to the Southampton defender. You know, I mean, it's just like it's Atletico. Just that second half, they just made it look so easy, right? And that's the thing. If like you said, the same, you can flip it around, right? If they score first, we have to literally come out, right? Correct. We have to play that higher line. We'll have to have Saliba move the ball up towards the midfield, which we've seen a lot lately in the last couple of months. Where the hell that came from, I don't know. Right? We weren't doing that at all last season, but now all of a sudden Saliba's the ball carrier, you know, for the last couple of months. It's just it's Arteta's gonna have to find a tactic for each match, right? And have a man-to-man tactic and how to deal with some of these players. And again, I still don't think Barcelona are essentially out of it.
No.
Right, it's what 2-0, right? But the Alvarez thing is a good point. We can't even foul him, bro, outside the box.
No, Semene's gonna. They're not going out. Sorry, I'm going out.
No, you're fine.
For me, sorry.
Exactly. The chances of them going out are very, very slim. But Barcelona have pulled miracles, right? When they came back to 7 goals against PSG, and Neymar looking there like a deer in the headlights, right? I mean. We know, Rob, you follow football long enough. Moments happen, miracles happen, right? So I just think that Barcelona will possibly step it up a notch, but again, it's a tough place to play at Atletico.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Place to play,
Metropolitano,
right? So I still think that ties in the balance, but not so much anymore. Yeah, I'm worried about us having to open up, Johnny, like I'm saying, the other side of that coin of them scoring first and us being on the back foot and the urgency to score, which let's be honest, we have a problem scoring open goals. And that's why the Kai Havertz moment was special.
Well,
right?
Not only that, yeah, absolutely the Kai Havertz moment was special. Listen, that game was dog shit overall to watch. That was horrible. That was the worst. It's been the worst Champions League game that we've seen so far. Was our game?
For sure.
Yeah, basically.
There's no getting around it. But look, I'll give credit where credit's due. It was a fantastic assist from Martinelli. Great first touch from Havertz because normally that ball bounces off his foot and goes out of play, or he misses completely like he did against Manchester United in the FA Cup last season. So
and tries to get it off the volley and do something weird, right, off his shoulder,
exactly. So,
right. No, you're right. We should be giving credit where credit is due, right? I'm all for that. But this is now strictly on Arteta to find that man-to-man tactics that we need on each side of the pitch. And centrally, I think we'll be okay if Rice is on it, as long as Odegaard isn't involved, which we know he's going to be, but it depends on Eze, right? But again, here we are relying on Eze to come back from injury and perform miracles. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it may, but I think that, we get all of our eggs in one basket for Eze, who's just going to be coming back from injury. Hopefully he'll play this weekend, but will that transfer through to a sporting game or an Atletico Madrid game? Well, I'm not so sure.
I honestly don't want him to play the Bournemouth game. I want him to have proper amount of time to recover. They said 4 to 6 weeks. We're on damn near maybe just over 3.
It's a calf injury. It's a calf injury. If you ever watch the NBA, Kevin Durant had a calf injury and he kept playing on it, and then he fucking popped his Achilles. That's because he either ignored the training staff, or the head coach said, "No, you're going out there because we need you. You're our star player." And he was, but at the same time, you've also got to protect your players at the same time. Eze, you have to protect, and I know that basically means he's not going to be able till end of April, give or take, the end of April. I would rather remember if we had to really solely go out there and beat Man City, it'd be ideal. But if we had to solely go out there and actually beat Man City in order to try and sewn up the title and so on, then maybe you risk Eze for one game just to say, right, we need you in this game.
We need him for City. Agreed.
I wouldn't play him.
But because we don't necessarily need to win that game, we just need to not lose, as all the top gooners around us. We just don't not to lose the game. Then there is a chance you may get away with it, and I say you may get away with it. But I don't know. He unlocks Gyökeres. He's the only one really who unlocks Gyökeres. He's the only one that sees the vision that Gyökeres is trying to run off the last man for.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, Carl, as well, is kind of like, how much longer do we need to go through this? It's clearly not good enough for Arsenal standards. It's okay to a degree, and I'm not trying to say that, he's done a good job to get us back competing and all this kind of stuff, but it's just not good enough for us, and that's okay, by the way. Well, I mean, it's not okay for us, but you know what I mean? It's that can be okay. But you need to fucking go. I'm sorry. You just need to go. It's not going to be what can you see tactically going forward that this guy can do for this football club to get us lots and lots of trophies? It's just not the way. Defensively, okay, cool. He's defensively a sound, even though recently almost not so great, but defensively okay. But come on, we're not seeing enough. And it's not that bad to say that. We're called absolute all the names under the sun for calling this guy out. It shouldn't be a bad thing to say that. The bloody bugger's on 15 million a year.
Right. And not playing players in their positions, and not man management, not rotating correctly, not beating Southampton 4-0. Right. I mean, that should have been a 4-0 thrashing. Let's be real. If we were just on it that day, it would have been 4-0. And I'm tired of using the excuse, Rob, that we just weren't on it. Why the fuck not? Why weren't we on it? We have players out there that are making $1 million+ a month, base salary. Base salary, fellas. $1 million a month. I was just talking with Jez about this and a couple of other people. I think it was with TJ and BBK. It's just saying we say $250 a week and stuff, and that adds it up. But it's 4 weeks in a month, bro. You're talking $1 million plus for these. I mean, it's astronomically fucking wrong. First of all, in my opinion, but I'm none of us can affect the wages, right? Except for not going to the games, but that's not going to happen.
Dell, the top 7 salaries, the top 7 highest earners at Arsenal combined is $54.5 million a year. That's just the top 7.
Oh,
it's 54. It's 50, and that's without the bonuses. That's flat base salary. The top 7 flat base salary. The top 7 salaries at Arsenal is $54.5 million. It's ridiculous.
That's insane, bro. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And to not win anything and put out performances like we saw in the final, in the FA Cup quarterfinal. I think I'm more mad about the Southampton loss because even though we played like shit against City, it's still a final. There's still a lot of nerves, mistakes can happen. But the Southampton game was just an abject fucking failure. That was just
the reaction, isn't it? No, it's the reaction.
Failure. Yeah. Yeah, yes, yeah, right.
Wow.
The reaction to losing out in the final. I thought we'd win. I think I picked 3-1. I thought we'd have some reaction, but not blaming Ben White. Hello, Ben White, you're making 180 grand a week. You can't read a fucking aerial ball coming at you, and you let it go. Gabriel heading it backwards, letting him in. Like what are we fucking doing? Like, so I'm more mad about that. Right, going out in a final, that happens because finals against City can go either way. Finals, if it was Liverpool, it could go either way. Right, let's be honest, But Southampton, and we were walking in the park, Rob. Before that, Mansfield, Wigan, Portsmouth, a walk in the park.
Yeah, easiest run to get to another semifinal.
Sure.
And we freaking bottle it. Yeah, it's
right.
You're fully correct about that. I mean, just to say briefly, what I think I mentioned it on the stream the other day. That what got me the most is that these players could not react. Not only did you perform like that in a final of the Carabao, a final of any trophy for Arsenal Football Club,
Right.
you then went and followed it up. You then went and followed it up with that.
Right.
It's just utterly abysmal.
Yeah.
Utterly abysmal. Just sorry to cut in, but
No, it's a joke all the way around. It was a joke. I was livid. I was, sitting there watching it with the wife, almost in tears,
you should
guys.
be coming back, and you should be showing me what you're earning. You should be showing me that you want to play for this club. You should be showing me that you understand what it means to play for Arsenal, and you've fucking done it. Failed again. You failed again, and that just irritates me a lot, man. Honestly.
Quadra, what did you think of the game? What do you think of this potential matchup with Atletico?
Big up the panel, big up Gianni, big up everyone in the chat as always.
Legend.
Listen, everyone on the panel has hit the nail on what they've said tonight. Listen, we always wanted Atletico Madrid because we know if we face Barcelona, Rashford versus Ben White, because let's be real, Rafinha's still out with the injury he had in the international break, I think against France. He picked up an injury and I think he's out for 5 weeks. Big up Fraley. And I feel like we need to do better against Atletico Madrid because we can't go to their stadium and scam a 1-0 win because you can't do that because they know. Because, Diego Simeone is a proper manager. And people are going to go, oh, but we beat Atletico Madrid 4-0. It's going to be an easy job. Well, it's not. Well, because it's the semi-finals. Because it happened with PSG when we won 2-0. When it came to crunch time, we just faltered. We just collapsed. So I expect to see that game. I hope that Timber, Eze, and Capie come back as soon as possible. Because if it's Calafiori versus, I think maybe Simeone's son, or maybe Ben White versus Lookman, then it's going to be a very, very big. We're in big trouble because Ben White has no legs because he's finished because this manager's absolutely ruined him. Calafiori, I don't know. 1 minute he looks good, and the next minute he just falls over on the ground. And that's really a concern. And obviously, Odegaard in midfield. If Eze's injury is if Eze's injury continues, and we have Odegaard in midfield, it's going to be a worry. And maybe Kai Havertz might come on, and if it might be 0-0. I don't know. In the second half of the Atletico Madrid game, if we beat Sporting, by the way, we haven't beaten Sporting yet. So let's not get giddy here, because let's be Sporting can cause problems. They will be aiming to get something. So 1-0 aggregate win is still not enough. We got to go out there and get the job done. So Arteta, you better not play for a draw, because we all know what he does. He always plays for draws. And it's the same old haram football, and he needs to stop that. So if we do beat Sporting, I expect us to score the opening goal, because if we don't, he's going to either park the bus most of the time and then sit back and counter, because I think that's what he will do. Because against Sporting, we did attack a little bit, but it wasn't great, really. It was just boring because when you saw everyone in the panel, Odegaard was in the team. He was so bad. There was no creativity. It was just a boring game. Odegaard was getting the ball from the goalkeeper. I'm like, why is he not further up the pitch? This guy can't even pass the ball forward. He always passes it sideways. And against Atletico Madrid, it's going to be Odegaard doing the sideways. And that's going to be the problem. If we don't have Eze in the team, we will struggle to create. That end of. So I expect for us to go out there and put in a performance. First, we need to hope that Timber, Eze, and Capie don't get rushed back. Because if they do get rushed back, it's going to be a long day for us.
Facts.
100%.
Like I said, I don't want to see Eze until the City game. Risk it. You need him 100% for this, or as close to 100% as you can get him for this last run of what we're going to do. Because again, I don't trust Odegaard to be the number 10 if we got to beat Atletico Madrid. And even more so, one of the worst players to go against that's an engine room in the middle is that Marcos Llorente. He doesn't stop running. And with how tired our guys are, I'm going to hate to see an Odegaard just go sideways, and then all of a sudden he can just run the middle, like kind of what you saw at times in this game against Barcelona. So, listen, I think Atletico's posing some major threats to us. And then again, here's another thing too. When you look at the way that kid from Bayer Leverkusen was giving our strikers problems, you look at the way that the striker from Southampton was giving Gabriel problems in this game. You know, we got to worry about the guy that's supposedly linked with us. Julian Alvarez is on fire right now, the way he's playing. And Julian Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann could cause William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes a lot of problems, especially if these guys are not up to par and they're playing injured as well. You know, Griezmann, he may be 34 years old. He may be leaving for America. The guy's still quality. He can still come up with a crazy move here or there, still helps in controlling the game. And Julian Alvarez, I mean, that free kick goal was absolutely beautiful.
Game changer.
That free kick goal was absolutely beautiful. So, and then again, another guy who can cause us problems is Sorloth. That's another guy who could potentially cause us problems.
Do you remember his 4 goals, Johnny? Do you remember his 4 goals in one game again? I can't remember who the fucking team was. But do you remember his 4 goals? It was about maybe 3 or 4 months ago now.
Was it Villarreal? Was it Villarreal that he did that to?
I honestly can't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, honestly. So, but like, fuck, you know, he scored those 4. And they were all bangers as well, by the way.
He's a good striker.
They're all striker.
Yeah, he's a damn good striker. I wouldn't listen. It's and again, you could say the same thing for Barcelona. I mean, that midfield, the way that we were letting Sporting get on the ball in the second half, again, you can't let a guy like Pedri get on the ball like that and start dictating the game. So, you know, it was what it was. Unfortunately, I think Hansi Flick got it wrong with his substitutions. I understand why he took Lewandowski out, but taking Pedri out, especially when you're still going to control the game with only 10 men, you would think that you would need Pedri to pull that off. But
right,
I think he definitely got that one wrong. But going forward, when you see this, obviously, Atleti 2 games. I don't know, where would the Atletico games fall? Where do the semifinals fall in as far as within the schedule?
Isn't it usually like end of
First
April,
of May.
beginning of May?
Yeah, I think it's first week of May, Carl.
The first week of May, yeah, because it's like a month until the final, isn't it?
Yep.
Usually.
Yeah. So if it's first week of May.
Between June 1st and June 6th, I think, is the final. That first Saturday in June, I think.
Yeah, no, it's my birthday. It's like my birthday weekend. That's why I wanted to get to the fucking final, man. And it was the same last year as well. It's kind of my birthday's June the 1st, so it's kind of around that time-ish.
Right.
And do you know what? If you could win imagine winning the Champions League on your birthday. Oh, mate. Mate.
Happy fucking birthday, huh?
I just want to. Sorry,
you got no idea how many times this football club has fucking destroyed my birthday. My birthday's on April 6th. We usually get banged out the quarterfinals on a regular basis. Every time. That was heartbreaking.
I get it. Yeah,
you don't know torture. You don't know torture. Being in my position.
Fuck, you know. Yeah, that's horrific. Yeah, man. No, but the thing is, like, it's like, I just don't. Why can't people see that it's just not going to work out? It's like it's he's not a horrendous manager. It's cool. It's just not going to work out. Can we just please just get this through people's heads? Well, they're being fucking PR'd and they're being brainwashed. And the club, to be fair, if anything is world class about this football club, their fucking relations and their PR and their ability to manipulate and finesse the fans is world class. And I mean that in a kind of like, I do mean that in a derogatory way, because I do think that they're trying to take the piss and they're just sorry. And they're just sort of taking advantage of the fact that people kind of like will just sort of like follow along. And I'm just tired of it, man. Northside used to say on his channel, he used to go, I'm tired, bro. And that's where I am now. I'm just kind of like, I'm tired, bro.
So the Champions League would be after semifinals is after Newcastle, is in between Newcastle and Fulham, and then in between Fulham and West Ham. Is the semifinal matchup?
Yeah, after the Newcastle game, it's the semifinals, and then in between, exactly, yeah.
That's an interesting. It's an interesting.
Big up, Benji.
Big up Benji. Big up Benji every time.
Big up.
Like Philly putting there about Sorloth. Sorloth can be deadly, bro, and he can match that physicality with Gabriel.
Yep.
That's the thing, If they get a corner kick, Sorloth can get up there just as easy as Gabriel's trying to defend it. Sorloth can easily, poke it in top bins with his head, and he's he's a strong striker, bro. He was on my list last season of strikers to get in, right, when we were looking for Goikarez and so forth. And I was even hoping that maybe we'd take a punt on the what's that Dovbyk guy that used to play for Genoa?
That's at Rome. Yeah.
I even thought we'd give him a try because I do glad we got Goikarez, right? I still think, there's a little more time, right? But I predicted 16 goals, all comps this season. He's already, I think, surpassed that, or he's at 16.
I think he's at like 17 or 18.
17. So I'm glad that we've got Goikarez, but I think, I don't want to get too deep in it, but we all know the service is missing.
100%.
And I think I hope that will improve. But I hope it improves under a different manager. Because I'm sorry, guys, but I am in the boat that even if we win it, I want this manager gone. And I know that sounds insane to people.
But they don't understand.
And I get that.
Well, do they? When you try to explain it to me, it's like, but we're extrapolating out into the future and not foreseeing any more trophies. That's why we have the opinion that we have. It's not that difficult to understand, but for some reason, a lot of these people, they just cannot understand it.
Right.
If we win the league, if we win anything this season, we've kind of, like, the way I see it is we've kind of got away with it. And that's 100%. Why we should go.
Especially if it's 1 to 3 points. Like we have an opportunity to go 12 points up this weekend. Right. If we're able to maintain that, maybe drop 3 points at City, right, or not lose at all, right. I say, okay, maybe you've won it by 9 or 6 points. And I know some people, a lot of say, it doesn't matter the point gap and so forth. To me, it does, because it means that's the proof of the form that you showed throughout the season. It proves that you really didn't give in that much, right. And again, I think it's the players that win it, and I know that figuratively, right? Obviously, I know that the players win it, right? But I don't think there's anything Arteta's done that's just so, out of reach for any other manager to do for us to win it, right? Like, there's nothing that he's done to say, oh, that win goes on Arteta. No, was it Arteta that fucking gave Eze the hat trick against Spurs? No, it was Eze actually expressing himself, playing the way he knows how to play, and saying, up yours, boss, I'm going to go in and fucking attack, even though you're telling me to hold the ball.
Yep.
Right, and then he fucking dropped him, Rob, exactly.
Unbelievable.
So it's like, I don't see us maintaining or retaining, I guess is better, retaining anything the 26-27 season, fellas. I just don't see it. Liverpool will be better. Isak was already, I think, on the mend, I read the other day. Wirtz will finally find a role, right? He will find some form and find how he fits in, which he's still struggling with, right? Wirtz and Havertz, they're both German internationals. They'll find a way eventually, but I just think there's a manager out there, and we can drop any name you want. We've heard them all, Luis Enrique, Ancelotti, Flick, etc., right? That can take this squad to another level. I truly believe that. And I think if Arteta had any fucking grace about himself, if we win it, to shake the hands of Josh Kroenke, get his bonus check, and say, I've taken this club as far as I can go, and now I need to go to fucking Spain or Everton. Or Rangers, right? Go to Everton. Go to Everton.
I don't know where he goes in Spain.
Right. We can only debate that. And possibly by luck may have it, he may get a Madrid offer this summer. Right?
I don't think so.
No way.
I think it's very, very, very unlikely. No. It's very, very unlikely. I get that. But we've seen strange shit in football, guys. We've seen strange shit happen.
Yeah, but
they may look at this, we see something in him, right? But I know he's a Catalonian guy as well, right? So there's some hurdles with that.
It's not even that. If you look at it, what do you see at Arsenal that goes and fits with either of those two Madrid teams?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
But Madrid has made mistakes, Gianni. They've made mistakes in managers. I'm not saying it's a great fit, but they may pick him, and that may be a mistake, right?
I just don't think Real Madrid just have too much of a talent ID in that respect to pick an Arteta. Yeah. That's not me. I'm not having to go at you, Dal, or anything. But no,
of course. I just don't think I don't think
I hope you're wrong.
If he ends up getting an offer to go to Real Madrid, you do know Endestream Dave is going to have the biggest, almightiest crash out we've ever seen in his life.
That'll be brilliant.
Even when he gets angry after his loss to Bayern Munich the other night was bad, but we wait until Arteta gets announced as Real Madrid.
If he does go to Spain, do you think he'd go to Villarreal or Valencia?
No, he goes to Sociedad.
I think there would be offers. Maybe on that. I don't think he goes there because they're not big enough.
He'll go to Sociedad.
Okay.
Or Bilbao. Because
no, he won't go to Bilbao. He won't go.
Or Everton. No, see, that's the thing. I don't think he's going to lower himself to a lower level club. No disrespect to Everton and all them, and Madrid is it's out of pocket, but they've made mistakes in hiring managers before.
Pellegrini's going to leave my club, Betis. Don't do it, Betis. Seriously, don't do it.
Honestly, I could see, depending on what happens at the end of the season, I could see Arteta parlaying one of the big teams in Italy. I don't see him going to Spain. I see him parlaying one of the big teams in Italy. I could see him going to either Inter, if Inter bottles it, or if Allegri tries to bounce to the national team, or if he gets picked. Because I could see Allegri going to Real Madrid before I see Arteta going there. In my personal opinion,
really, I don't see him
go Juve at all. You go Juve, then is that what you're saying?
I could see him going to the only way he I could see Arteta going to Juve, but the problem is Juve's cash strapped, and that's come down to his coaching ability. And if he goes,
remove Juve off the table,
and it would be the same thing with Inter. The thing about Arteta is this: I don't see him going. I don't see Atletico. Like right now, the rumor is that Atletico is trying to court Jurgen Klopp to be the new manager after Simeone walks. Now, we don't even know Simeone is going to leave, but Simeone has said in the past that he would love to manage Inter Milan. If they got rid of Kivu and Simeone walked, I see Simeone going to Inter, but then possibly seeing Arteta going to Juve if Juve don't qualify for the Champions League, because Juve is not going to extend Spalletti if they don't make the Champions League. So I could see him potentially getting the Juve job if he was to leave for that. I don't see him getting Atletico if Atletico's trying to get Jurgen Klopp. And like I said, I see Max Allegri getting a call to Real Madrid before I see Arteta, just because Allegri's got the trophy hall to do it. Plus, Allegri is a bigger personality to work with the big egos of Real Madrid than Arteta is.
There is one team I can see Arteta going to. And this ain't for shits and giggles. This is just what I think. He could end up as Bayer Leverkusen manager. because they love all that zesty shit over there. The same thing the Top Gooners do on our side of things.
I think that's a stretch, Carl, but I like your
always
thinking.
thought Valencia. I thought Valencia was kind of a good one because it's kind of like a sleeping giant, and is kind of maybe the sort of type of size of club that Arteta might be able to go to after failing, or not air quoting failing, but he has failed with Arsenal. I always thought Valencia. That's just my thing. I don't think he can get anything bigger than that.
I think it's too low level for him.
No money in Valencia.
There's no money in Valencia.
They've spunked it on finishing off this stadium, which has been up for 15 odd years, and then they're finishing it off.
He might not have a choice, though. That's the thing. And they're going to change from the Mestalla. I think they're building a new stadium over there.
Yeah, but the problem is the owner of Valencia takes the money out just as bad as the way the Glazers do with United. That's the problem. Valencia's ownership has been absolutely terrible for the last decade plus because he takes all the money out of the team. Look at how fast they crumbled.
They're fucked.
Yeah.
Look at Unai Emery at the beginning when he took over that next generation of Valencia after the Vicente Rodriguez's, the Pablo Aymars, the David Villas, Marchenas that were all at that team. When you look at then he had the Jonas and all that shit where then they became in and out of Champions League. Right after Marcelino won that the Copa del Rey with them, he just started selling players and cashing them out, and they ain't been worth a fuck since. So I don't think he would go there.
So basically, to sum it up, he's staying at Arsenal.
So the Mestalla is a wonderful.
He's not going to Valencia. He's not going to Madrid. He's not going to Atletico. He's not going to Inter because of cash. He's not going to Juve because of cash.
Could he take sabbatical?
Yeah, not go to
Milan.
I can see him. I can see him at Milan. I can see him at Milan if Allegri.
Just as long as he leaves this club. Just as long as he leaves this fucking club, man.
You're basically saying you don't give a shit where he goes.
He would be taking a big pay cut if he went anywhere else besides the big three, right? And Bayern Munich.
He might have a choice to do
I'm not
that.
so sure.
Unless PSG took a gamble and Enrique leaves, but that's highly unlikely because everybody who's saying that Enrique was going to leave is now.
The thing is, we all agree that he's overpaid, though. He's the fourth highest paid manager in the world, and he's overpaid for this.
Yeah,
he's going to have to take a pay cut after all this if we don't win the league. And yes, look, I hope he does win the fucking league, honestly, so I can stick it on my fucking Tottenham fans who give me a lot of grief about the fucking Europa League. I mean, I'm in North London, so I have the Tottenham fan. I have all my mates are Tottenham or fucking Man United. That's all my mates. And this is why I want
set of friends
because you're the only Arsenal mates that I have, and that's good. And big up to all of you. And all big up to all the chat and the community that we're building here. And I really like the community that we're building here because we're bloody going to need each other over the next few weeks potentially.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We need each other in a bottle of whiskey.
So yeah, man. No, but I want to stick it on those fucking Tottenham fans. And I would like nothing more than for us to win the fucking league and for them to go down in the same season. That's generational.
That'd be the greatest sporting event in the history of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to go down too. They need to go down.
Manny's not here, but I would like to ask Manny why he wants Spurs to stay up.
No, I want
Spurs saying it on your streams that he wants Spurs to stay up.
Maybe he wants the rivalry to continue, right?
Yeah, it's not a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. It's pest control. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, these
pest
are the
control. Pest control. I like that. So one thing I was going to ask you guys, I guess, speaking of the noisy neighbors, is De Zerbi going to change things around? I mean, to me, it's the players, bro. That's just a hodgepodge of shit players thrown together. No, I mean, you could bring fucking Ancelotti in, and I don't think he would keep them playing. They could stay up, but I think that depends on, obviously, you guys know, is other squads dropping points. But I mean, is De Zerbi really like the one? Because what's that gal, Abby Summers, the annoying gal on Talk Sport, says absolutely she doesn't want him in. Take that for a grain of salt.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. That's the one with a bunch of makeup that looks like a dude. But no, I just like De Zerbi. I just think
from Lord of the Rings.
De Zerbi's a leaver anyway. De Zerbi leaves anyway, right? once the ship starts to go, he goes.
Nah, that's not
Isn't that true?
That's not necessarily
No?
true because, like, here's the thing. See, at Sassuolo, he saw out his entire contract. At Sassuolo, he
True,
saw
he
out
did.
his entire
He was
contract.
there for a while.
And the way that it worked with him at Sassuolo was that as long as he has input on transfers and or trying to get players on the free to be able to build his brand of football, he has a say-so in it. The thing it's a double-edged sword here with this situation because one, when you look at when Tudor got put in, right? Nobody was listening to Tudor. And I think that's part of the reason nobody listened to him. One, because of the fact that he was an interim manager. Them giving De Zerbi more power the way that it is to come off with this large amount of money, with this amount of years, is to instill that he's going to be there and have say-so over these players and have a more, in my opinion, try to have more of an influence over these players. Mickey Van de Ven wasn't listening to Tudor. Neither was fucking any of them guys. They were.
No.
Tudor was a waste of time to even get.
They weren't listening to Frank either.
Well, Thomas Frank should have never got the job if we're being honest here. Thomas Frank is not that good of a manager. Thomas Frank should have gotten a job like with an Everton or if like
stayed at Brentford. He should have just stayed at Brentford.
Or the guy who took over for him is better than him already, and he lost
on the cusp of getting Europe, on the outside, on the fringes of Europe.
Madness.
Yeah, so that's why it's like Thomas Frank. See, my whole thing with Tottenham at the end was I actually am in the camp to where I didn't mind them sacking Ange at the end of the season because he was still fucking appalling in the league. Whether he won you a trophy or not, he was still appalling in the league. But you don't sack Ange to go get a shittier manager.
Right.
That was my whole thing. If you're going to be like, okay, we're finally over the hump. We finally won our trophy and God knows how many fucking years it's been since they won a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to make this move that we're one of this quote unquote big six, you go out and get a good name manager to replace this guy to take the steps forward with you being in Champions League and everything else. You don't go sign some guy from some scrub fucking team.
Right.
You automatically think that that's going to translate into it. Thomas Frank didn't bring no aura to grab or give like a kick up the ass like what you would think from a different manager.
Right.
I said from the jump, I go, as soon as he was available, I said they should have went after Sadi or they should have went after Roberto.
They could have gone after Allegri. I think Allegri
exactly
would have probably taken that job for get his foot in England. You know,
exactly. That would have been an appropriate. Would have been an appropriate appointment. More so,
totally agree.
How old is Allegri now?
Been at a big club and actually did well. You know what I mean?
How old is Allegri now?
60 something.
He's late 50s, early 60s. Brother, it doesn't manager. It's Max Allegri.
I know it's Max Allegri, but Max Allegri from like 15 years ago was just quality, was just elite. I wanted him when Wenger parted. That was who I wanted to come into Arsenal straight off the bat. When Wenger left, was Max Allegri. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, he was on my list too, Carl.
Yeah.
Both him or Ancelotti should have came to Arsenal. Ancelotti should have came to Arsenal. They had both opportunities.
It's wild that he came to us and Ancelotti went to Everton. You would think it would be like complete opposite, right? Because of obviously Arteta's time at Everton. He was a good player for them.
Everton, when they got their ownership in, then they flew way too early into their life cycle. They thought they could try and just compete immediately, and it bit them on the arse on the way through. Oh, just going back to De Zerbi.
I disagree. If it wasn't for all the political shit that came apart with the Russia-Ukraine war, Everton would have had some more money to throw at the time with Ancelotti there.
Of course, because Usmanov was a majority.
You got to remember, Usmanov got sanctioned at the exact same time, and then the money dried up because they were starting to move players. Because we could say whatever we want. If it wasn't for the stockpile of injuries and players that never lived up to the potential, Everton would have qualified for Europe under Ancelotti rather than waiting however many years later now and are playing for Europe with David Moyes. That could be an entirely different situation because look how fast Rafa fucked all that up. How the hell do you choose Andros Townsend over James Rodriguez? No wonder why you're.
Oh God,
that's what he did. That's what he did with that. But that's what I mean. Ancelotti went to Everton because he was sold a project. They had the who was the Dutch? Who was the Dutch guy? Was the sporting director? He was the one that helped build that AZ Alkmaar team that won recently in the Eredivisie. He was the sporting director for Everton at the time. And Ancelotti, when you look at the overall project, it was players that they got didn't live up to potential. I mean, that Andre Gomes turned a dog shit as soon as he left Barcelona when he came here. Abdoulaye Doucouré was a decent player. You know, if Gomes lives up to potential with the way we saw Doucouré play with Allen, with James Rodriguez, that ain't that bad of a team, especially you considering you may have some money to back Ancelotti to build. It wasn't that bad of a team that was starting over there. It was just once Usmanov got sanctioned, they went to shit.
And Gianni, we are told by people who claim to be reasonably sort of intelligent about football that Ancelotti would not have done better than this manager, given the same amount of time and given the same amount of money. The idea is like it's just it's how can you even countenance that? How can you even think about that?
Listen,
your brain is missing something. Sorry, your brain is missing something.
Yeah, Rob, Ancelotti has a pedigree of winning. Arteta has none.
Yeah,
if Brazil wins the World Cup, he's the greatest manager of all time. I don't care what excuse. I don't care what excuse you come up with Sir Alex Ferguson. If he wins the World Cup with Brazil, this isn't even a conversation anymore.
Because he's won it at club level and at international level.
Yep.
Exactly.
You basically completed football as a manager. Therefore, you can retire.
Completed football as a player too.
Join Arsenal. Look, retirement. Join Arsenal.
That's
what you guys think this could be Neymar's last World Cup for Brazil? Do you think this is Neymar's last World Cup?
Neymar's at the World Cup.
Do you
I honestly don't.
That wasn't tongue in cheek. That was
So I was in the toilet, so I couldn't hear anything. That's why.
Is he even in the squad?
He was.
No, I'm just asking. Could this be Neymar's last World Cup? That's what I'm asking. Could this be Neymar's last World Cup?
He's got to be like 32, 33.
Is he
somewhere in there? Well, how old is he, Quadra? How old's Neymar?
He's 34.
34.
Then yes, then it'll be the same. Yes. It'll be the same as Harry Kane. It'll be his final World Cup as well.
Neymar's 34. Jesus Christ, that makes me feel
right. I feel old now. Jesus.
Cheers, Quadra, you 19-year-old mate.
Thanks for ruining my Wednesday, Quadra.
If he makes it. It's even if he makes it. Ancelotti's not going to take him if he's injured. Ancelotti's not the manager that's going to listen to this.
Is Rodrigo injured right now too? Is he
Rodrigo's lost the whole thing. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. Rodrigo, I think they said he's not due to come back from injury till like November.
Oh shit, really?
He's missing the World Cup. He's gone.
Damn.
He tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, he has torn his ACL. He's out for the season. He will miss the World Cup, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, if we would have just gotten him instead of Madueke, maybe who knows? Maybe he would have gotten injured.
Yeah, but now he's them. As long as Arteta's here, them guys ain't coming to this team because they don't want to play defense.
Oh, they'll come to the team, I think, bro, because I think the money's there and the opportunity, and they've seen the second 3 times and so forth. See, I think that I get your point, but I do think there's players that will join Gianni, but it's this manager who fucking doesn't know how to manage top talent. Right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, here, I don't see Arsenal being able to get a Julian Alvarez or a Vada because I don't see them. If Julian Alvarez leaves Atletico Madrid, he's going to either a Barcelona, Real Madrid, or a PSG. I don't see him coming to us. Vara, while he does come back and help out defensively, which some people are going to say, oh, that fits Arteta, he is not going to want to be playing this touchline winger bullshit where defense is more important than offense. I just don't see him. Yeah. He left Napoli because of that. Again, Antonio Conte is 10 times more decorated than Arteta is, and he left Conte to get to Luis Enrique to be able to play the more attacking brand of football. I just don't see him.
You don't think we can get Alvarez in for $100 million and $275 a week?
You can. Where do you play?
Without selling. Not without selling.
Where do you play him?
Yeah, no, we're going to settle. We're going to sell.
Even if you sell, where do you play him? Are you playing him at left wing?
You got to.
Okay, but that's not his proper position now. Once again, we're doing the same thing all over again.
No, if you buy
Right.
Alvarez,
I mean, for me, I'm playing a 4-4-1-1 with Alvarez behind Goikarez, but Arteta's too fucking dumb to think outside the box. I'll play a
Listen, me
4-4-2
personally,
with Alvarez on the left.
It's
and
the same as
Goikarez on the
Martinelli,
right.
bro. Martinelli was a striker, and he turned him into a left winger.
Right.
If we bring
But-
Alvarez in, he'll turn me into a
Quadra,
left winger.
I
When
have
you watch
been
Martinelli,
talking-
when you
I've
watch
been
Martinelli play,
shown-
Martinelli
I've been
play was
hitting the Martinelli horn for striker Quadra for 6.5 years. I've been hitting that for years. And he still refuses to do it, right? No, and I get what you're saying, but and also there's the point of Alvarez has already been to the Prem. Like, maybe he doesn't want to go to England at all, right? He's a family man. Why would he go back to England? Like, why would he really come back to England too? And that's the other stumbling block I kind of come upon, right? But 100 mil, bro, he gets a percentage of that, 275, 280 a week.
Oh no, I hear it. It's just like I hear between the two, I see Julian Alvarez coming back before I see Vara coming. Like I said, I just don't see why Vara would bounce from Conte to go to PSG. Obviously, it's a big jump from Napoli to PSG. But if you were playing a more open attacking brand of football, I don't see him jumping halfway through the season the way he did. You know what I mean? That's kind of the reason why I'm looking at it from that perspective. For me, I could see Alvarez coming to Arsenal because he just got used to playing defense under Simeone. But you see he has the freedom to go forward when they're playing in a more offensive brand of football. Big up the Godfather. Big up the Godfather every time.
Big up Jez, man, the legend, man.
Big up, sir.
But at the end of the day, for me, I think the way that Alvarez – I see Alvarez coming in, like what Quadra said. He's going to move him out to the left wing. See, for me, I would play 4-4-2. This is where funny enough, like if you got a Diego Simeone to replace, Mikel Arteta, I'm fine with having Alvarez and Gyökeres up top with one another. Because that
I don't think. I think
Alvarez on the left.
I would love Alvarez. I would love Alvarez to come to Arsenal, but I just don't think it's legit. I don't think it's logistically possible. Not of his wages and not with the way we play. If you want to go after someone that can actually help Gyökeres, I know Alvarez is still an out-and-out goal scorer. I would personally go after Sorloth. And let him be the hold up man, and let him be the hold up man, and let Gyökeres be the lead runner.
Listen, Sorloth was a guy that I wanted last year. When everybody was talking about Gyökeres, I'm like, listen, you can get Sorloth for 20 million less to where you have enough money to go in the tank and be able to go get another big name player to add to the rotation as well. And really, Sorloth is more equipped to play the way that Arteta wants from a false nine. He's better on the ball than Gyökeres is. He's one of those guys. He reminds me of? He reminds me of Dzeko at Rome. He reminds me of the pace where he's not as pacey as it was at City or at Wolfsburg, but creatively, he's decent on the ball. He can control the ball. He can hold it up.
He was never pacey, though, really. Like
who?
Dzeko was never pacey, really.
Yeah, he was. At Wolfsburg, he was. When Mandzukic would hold the ball up for him and put it in for behind for Dzeko. He had a little bit, really? When he was really young at Wolfsburg.
Comparison, Johnny. That's a really good comparison. Yeah, Dzeko was a killer.
That's why I think when you look at it from there, yeah, you could do Sorloth and Gyökeres. But then again, see, like here, if you were to get a 4-4-2, let's just play this hypothetical with where we're at in this conversation, right? Say you get Sorloth or Alvarez to pair up with Gyökeres up top. How do you configure the rest of that four? Because for me, I honestly think it benefits Eze if you do that, because then he gets to play more central and he gets to do more of that left-sided 10, as we saw at Crystal Palace, as we saw at Palace playing off of that side. And then you have Saka on the right, and then you allow just Rice and Zubamendi, and you give the wings more creativity then. Big up, Jez.
Yeah, there he is.
Good to see you, man.
Yep.
Jez, did you watch any of the either of the two games?
No, not tonight, mate. I haven't. No. I've got a chill out night tonight with the missus, and yeah, it is what it is, man. It's just a chill out evening, chill out day, and yeah, it's been a rocky 24 hours. I won't lie, and yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
We're here to talk the football, Jez.
Yeah, we're here to talk.
We're here to talk football, not drama, brother.
When you look at, I wish you would have watched some of the games because I think this Atletico. So Atletico beat Barcelona 2-0, and what I was saying, what worries me in a matchup with us against Atletico is we're not creative enough going forward, and I'm worried about us turning the ball over and getting hit on the counter from the way Atletico plays. And I just think the way they play, they can cause us all types of problems. Yes, we destroyed them in the league phase, but they are a different team, much to the same situation as PSG was a different team after they added Vara. I just hope that we don't rush injuries back because we looked it up. The semifinal games is in between the Fulham and is after Newcastle and in between Fulham, and then the other one is in between Fulham to West Ham. And I think that's a bad timing for those games because imagine if you get knocked out and then you have to go fight it. You have to pick yourself up and go fight a team that's fighting relegation. That could potentially lead to a banana skin, especially we don't know. I mean, I think all of us here are not that confident that we will go to the Emirates and beat City too. So I think this could be a really, really bad time for Arsenal. I mean, what do you think about that, Jez?
It's looking a little bit frayed at the edges now, isn't it? Capitulating, falling apart last night, man. I mean, it was a rocky road, wasn't it? Really, we got lucky, and it's going to be an interesting one next week. I won't lie. But we got to get past Sporting Lisbon before we can look ahead, and that's the important factor. But in between that, we've got a tricky game with Bournemouth at home, and with what I've seen recently is a little bit shambolic. League-wise, are we going to pick it up? Maybe we'll be different. I don't know, but certainly in the cups, we've been shit.
Yeah,
League Cup final in the bin, FA Cup quarter final in the bin, right? So where's all the boys that are coming out, giving it all the fucking large, telling us about this quadruple and all that? Where they all gone?
They're hiding, Jez. They're hiding under the rocks again.
Yeah, where they gone?
I said trouble, so
all the last. Where are they then? Where are they? Yeah,
They're fake.
come and talk to us. Come and talk to these illustrious people all here, right? You talk bollocks, man. You talk absolute bollocks, and yet you ain't got the kahunas to actually come and face people out, right? And that's what annoys me, guys. Is if you've got it all that one, right? Come and stand and be proud. Stand front and center and say what you got to say, because you don't. You run and hide like a little girl, right? Yeah. Disgrace. Because Saturday, midday, right? We got ball home. A tricky one. I hate midday kickoffs. I hate them.
Yeah.
Right.
me too.
Agreed.
And yeah, for people like you, Dal, fucking hell.
4:30 in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I would not wake up for that. I would not wake up for that.
No, it's right, Carl. I've gotten up. That's the thing, Carl. I've gotten up many fucking times for that and watched 0-0s in the pouring rain against Fulham, against Everton, and all that other shit. 4:30 in the morning. No, I'll watch the fucking highlights on YouTube and then join in a chat or something. So
There's not enough strong coffee in the world. You'll make me get up at
there's
4
not.
to
There's
watch
not.
this
And
Arsenal
Starbucks
team.
ain't even
No
open
chance.
until 5. Starbucks ain't open until 5, brother.
I don't know where you're going, man. Look,
What's the whiskies
Dal,
on?
and Dal Gianni, sorry, you're in fucking Chicago, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I was you, right, I just go down to a fucking good blues bar and get in there and get fucking wankered. And that's
Stay there the whole night. I'll bring a blanket with me, Jez. Bars close at 2 in the morning. Yeah, it's another 2.5 hours security guard. Just let me sit here for a bit with my Jim Beam.
Yeah.
But Johnny, you're 3 hours difference, right? Was it
Yeah.
like 7:43? Yeah, so you're 7:30. That's definitely doable.
No, actually, is it? No, I'm only 2 hours out of you. It's 6:30. It's 6:30.
Yeah.
It's 6:30 in the morning. I got to be
That's
up
early.
for the game. Yeah, it's 6:30 in the morning for the Arsenal game for this weekend against Bournemouth. Trust me,
Yes.
I've woken up early too, off a fucking night out, being hungover and shit, trying to watch those games.
Same here. I've taken the wife to the Horse Brass Pub down in Southeast Portland at 7 o'clock in the morning, pounding Newcastle ales and having an English breakfast on the Sunday, and then going to bed at noon
Yeah.
for the rest of the day.
sounds
Funny enough to what Jez was saying, the first game against Everton, where was I at? Oh, I was at Buddy Guy's place. I was at Buddy Guy's Blues Bar in Chicago.
wow.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a good local band called the Michael Wheeler Band. They do there, and then if you've ever been to Chicago, a famous place is called Kingston Mines. If you make it, if you're a part of a band, if you play Kingston Mines or Buddy Guy's joint, you're pretty much making it in Chicago because they've closed a decent amount of other blues bars. But yeah, I was hungover for being at Buddy Guy's place, and I fell asleep for 30 minutes in that first Everton game of the season because that game was so fucking horrible. It's
hilarious.
terrible with some of them early games, man. It's been terrible to see that shit. And again, the game yesterday with Lisbon, I mean, yeah, we got the goal. Good first touch from Havertz and a good take because we've seen him miss those goals a million times before.
Mhm.
But there wasn't anything there that made me confident that we're going far in this tournament to be able to win. I mean, yeah, we made the semifinal last year, but I don't see us getting past the semifinal. I mean, Atletico, we have more of a chance of getting over Atletico than we do Barca, in my personal opinion. But Atletico still poses threats that could definitely derail us because, again, a lot of these players are walking wounded. I mean, Declan Rice was walking by like the 75th minute in the game. He wasn't even jogging back. I mean, Declan Rice. I'm scared that. Are you guys scared that? Let's say we get it over the line for the league, right? We win the league. We all know what's coming afterwards. Arteta's going to get an extension, whether we like it or not. We know he's going to get an extension if he wins. I would love if he got the win and walked away. Because for me, as I've said, I think 2 trophies was mandatory this season.
Mhm.
And I don't think we're winning the Champions League. So if he does win the league, I still believe he should be sacked. Because when you look at the amount of money, the lack of trophies, waiting this long to get one over the line, I think is inexcusable and unacceptable. But if he stays, I'm worried that a couple of our guys may get hurt at the World Cup. And that derails us to where we go from a team that should be in the running again next year to where it's maybe a top 4 battle, as we've seen the fall off with other teams like City and like Liverpool. What do you guys think about that?
Is Vincenzo trolling us, by the way? Vincenzo Petrone 704.
Vincenzo's a real one. He's a real one from day one.
Wind us up with that. Don't wind us up with that. We don't want to. The thing is, like, haven't you noticed, by the way, when people put clown emojis on X or social media of some kind, they're always the clowns.
I think he's saying Arteta's the clown. I don't think he's clowning us.
No, but
Vincenzo-
Arteta's the clown. That's what he always.
Vincenzo's a real one, bro. He wants him out too, I'm sure.
I mean,
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
cool.
He's good people. He's good people. No, but what do you guys think? You think if he stays with the World Cup, you think we're risking dropping out, maybe being a top 4 team next year because of injuries? Because I think some of these injuries are going to be long-term effects to where we may limp over the line this year, but they could come
Johnny,
back.
what are you on about? We've got the greatest squad in the world.
True.
We've got the greatest squad in the world, Johnny. What, dropping
We're the
out?
best team in Europe, Rob, as well. We're the best team in Europe. Everyone fears us
What
as
you
well.
guys are talking about? What you got talking about? This is craziness, man.
This is a light. This is a
Declan
light
Rice-
bulb, guys.
Declan Rice was blown
This
out.
is like
You know
ball
what? Within
times.
5 minutes of that game,
Yeah,
you could tell by watching Rice play. in that game against Sportive, he did not look fit. He didn't look match fit, or he was struggling. He was blowing out of his ass within the first 5 minutes of the first half before I then fell asleep. These players are going to end up going down with some very serious injuries very, very soon, right? This ain't me trying to be negative on the situation. If there wasn't a World Cup, there is a chance that, they might get back to fully fit and be fully healthy, ready for the new season. But because there was a World Cup sandwiched in between where we are now and the new season, you're only going to get 2, maybe 3 weeks, if that, to rest up. There's going to be also as well. When Arsenal won the league, we've never ever retained it. We've never retained it. So the chance of us having a repeat like we did doing a repeat is literally slim to none. So we are.
I hear that. The only reason why I say that, Carl, is because of the amount of money we spent. That's it. I'm not saying
I'm going to spend more money.
I'm
going to spend more money on top of the
no one ever retains the league.
On top of that.
If we want to retain the league, we got to get some players in. We cannot have this limited attack next season because we're going to get found out. It's not sustainable, and Arteta needs to better fix up the attack. The midfield needs to be fixed. We need a left back. We need a right back. We need another midfielder. We need a left winger, a right winger maybe, and possibly a backup striker because, Gyökeres can get injured and then Mikel Merino will have to play the false 9 and maybe our Lord and Savior, our top gooners are saying Gabby Jesus. So I don't know where we go from there if we win the league.
Judas.
No,
it's Judas. It's not Jesus, it's Jesus.
Quadra, you're right with all the players that we need to swap out. But the problem is, even with the players we swap out, the players that we want to keep have been ran into the ground. Again, what's to say that with what's happened this season, we limp over the line, you come in the next season, what happens if Declan Rice blows an ACL or does something to that effect? Now, you with the positions that we were talking about, we weren't even looking at midfield, but now your midfield shot. You don't know what's going to happen with Saka. I'm sorry, I'm not relying on Madueke again. So it's even if you go and bring in fresh talent into the team, there's really no guarantee that if injuries still come from the guys who stay here, that we can run it, that we can even try to run it back again next season. I'm simply saying because of the amount of money that we've spent with £1 billion put into a squad, we should be running it back next year. That should be the standard with the amount of money that we spent.
Can anybody actually analyze training with a fucking pen between your fingers?
Just that is cringe, bro. The training was cringe. Imagine
Everyone grabs the
pens.
Who actually invented that one then?
I don't know. But if everyone grabs a pen, right, there's Gianni's thumbnail for this show.
Like, you run around a pitch.
It's
right?
red as well.
Like, there's a group of 4 of you, right? And you got a football and you got a pen in between your fingers. I mean, what is that? What is that doing? What is that about?
Absolute nonsense.
But this is the thing, like we've had all this stuff, we've had to deal with all this stuff, we've had to deal with all he says about these stupid things about light bulbs and pens and all this kind of stuff. Win things.
Get the lemons, Rob.
Don't forget the lemons.
Dubai.
Don't forget the rabbit and the duck. Don't forget the rabbit.
Don't forget Win the dog.
Look like
We've
to you.
got Win the dog. Patsy Dog's home. He takes the dog as well. He takes Win the dog for a walk.
Multitasking.
I know we're having a giggle here, right? But come on, people, for fuck's sake, right?
His dog.
You know what I mean? We can't shoot and score goals from distance, right? And yet we're running around with a ball between 4 people, fucking pen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What is that bringing to the game? I don't. Unless I've missed something, I've never seen footballers run around a pitch with a fucking pen between their fingers.
It's the social media.
When was the last time you seen that before during your Arsenal training? Have you ever seen that before with the Tony Adams and all that? Has anyone done that before?
Oh, can you imagine? Adams was holding Vieira up. Vieira's not a small lad. Adams had Vieira. Sorry, Jed. Sorry.
Oh, no, you go on, man. Go on.
Adams had Vieira by the shirt, and like he was telling him what to do. That's what we've missed. That's what we're missing now.
We haven't got the alpha dogs.
We are a galaxy away from that.
But did you see them, Rob? Right? Did you see the players were laughing? Right? They're laughing. Right?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So how are you taking this seriously? That you've got your manager, this best coach in the world, best coach ever at Arsenal, couldn't get anyone better, right? Running around in a little four group, right, with a pen between your fingers. Yeah, and so what we doing here? What's that telling me? What we doing? So you can run around at like a little kickabout with a football with a pen between your fingers.
He's an idiot, Judge.
What does that tell you? What? I mean, I don't know. Somebody tell me. I ain't got a bloody clue.
How about we win something? How about that as a strange idea?
Right.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Right, let's
But
not
it takes time, guys. You got to give it time because you got to trust the PRO says. That's what we've been told. You got to give it time.
I've been given it time for 20, almost 30 years of following this club, Quaja. 30 years almost invested in this club. Look at all this bullshit I got behind me. I told the wife, I don't want any more Arsenal swag until he fucking wins something. No scarves, no shoes, no hoodies, no underwear, no socks, no hats, no nothing. And yes, I have Arsenal underwear. No, I'm just kidding.
Dal, no, don't forget North London Forever incoming on Saturday and on Wednesday next week. North
Oh my God.
London Forever.
Quandra,
Everybody will
me,
get
bro.
their scarves singing it. You know, they're going to get take their scarf out and sing North London Forever. And they're going to get their passion in
Such
heart.
an
You know?
awful song as well. Like, the fact that song is about causing-
Craziness, Quaja.
What do you think? Right, like that went all over YouTube. Right, that went all over YouTube. What do you think other teams are going to think of that? Right, I think we run around with a pen between our fingers and we can kick a ball about. They must be wetting their fucking knickers.
I don't want to be left out of this. Let me get my fucking pen.
Can you imagine PSG Bayern Munich? Right? Can you imagine PSG and Bayern Munich
Get the
watching
pins in, lads.
Real Madrid, Barcelona, watching that, thinking, what is this? What we got to face? That Arsenal players can run around, right, with a fucking pen between their fingers. Really? Is
In
this
fact, Jets, like would Sir Alex Ferguson fucking do that with Man United? Would Ancelotti do that? Would Zidane did that?
That's one of the worst things, Dal. You know, they say to us, Dal, they say to us, sorry,
seriously,
Dal.
what have we become? But we are the laughing stock. This manager, right, is a twat.
So, do you know what they say to us though about Alex Ferguson? They're like, "Oh yeah, well, Mikel Arteta is just the next reincarnation of Alex Ferguson." It's like, do you know what he did? Do you know what Alex Ferguson did before taking over Man United? Do you have any fucking inclination about that at all?
Yeah,
It's unbelievable to make that comparison. Honestly,
Did he take Aberdeen to a cup final or semi?
He won the European Cup Winners' Cup. He won the European Super Cup in '83, and then in '84 he won the Scottish League title, knocking off Celtic and Rangers.
There you go. That's Carl. They absolutely smashed it. But it's unbelievable that they will try to justify some sort of justification about like Alex Ferguson. They don't know what they're talking about. That is the thing. And this is what we're having to deal with our fan base. We are dealing with a bunch of people who don't know what they're fucking talking about.
Right.
Yeah. Fact.
That's the younger generation in total, though, man. It's not just Arsenal fans; it's everybody across the board. But you got
There is that, and I will shout out my mates.
You got young morons who are trying to fucking put Bruno Fernandes on the same level as Zidane and Platini and all that. So it's not just Arsenal fans. It's a lot of the young fans nowadays. It's all, first of all, it's all about stats, which doesn't make any difference because, again, one of the biggest things that people forget is the pass that leads to the assist. The magicians that would create the opening that could lead to an assist are often forgotten about. You know, the problem is everybody's become a statistician. That's more important than people even be able to dribble the ball and all that. So it goes across the board. It's not just Arsenal fans. It's just the thing is with Arsenal is the loudest part of the fan base is the super delusional fan base, which is why people look at us as a fan base and look at it crazy, because you got young kids trying to say after Declan Rice hit the 2 free kicks against Real Madrid that Declan Rice is a better free kick taker than David Beckham. And it's like, what are we doing here as far as that? You know what I mean? So has he done it since?
Has he done it since?
Exactly.
Or that Rice is better than Valverde.
Yeah, that or Pedri. or Vitinha or the other Portuguese kid on
insert midfielder's name, whoever you want, right?
Yeah,
exactly. I think Rice is a top midfielder. Agreed. I definitely think he makes the conversation in this current era right now, what we're living in, a top 5, top 6 midfielder. He has proven that, right? I think that he is the engine of Arsenal. But let's not forget, fellas, he's doing the jobs of 2 midfielders. He's the 6 and the fucking 8. Right. And we've said, Jez, you and I have sat on your show and talked about Rice doing all the work in the midfield and that his legs are going to crack. And they were. Remember, he was walking last Premier League game. He's holding the rails, walking down the steps.
Yep.
Before the Sporting game.
Yep.
I think he's a great player. I think he's the engine of this side, but at what cost? At what cost? And again, like and even Jez, we've talked about this before. The big clubs will come calling. Saliba. Why do you think Mascara's here?
Gabriel.
Right? The big clubs will come calling for these players. If we really get into a semifinal or a final in Champions League, or if we win the league, the big clubs will come calling. And I can tell you, I can tell you this, and you guys know the history of football as well. The good players go to the bigger clubs that are just that more of a level than we are right now.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, to not think that Madrid's not scouting Rice, or we know they're looking at Saliba, right? And so maybe we see a clear out this year, fellas, if we lose it by 1 or 2 points. And it's not the kind of clear out we fucking want.
Oh no,
right? We're losing the players that we want to keep, right?
Now, if he bottled the league, you could kiss both center backs gone. You could probably kiss Timber gone. And exactly to your point, you then have to talk about Declan Rice even possibly trying to force a way out. Because if I'm Declan Rice, if we bottled the league, if I'm Declan Rice, I'm giving a call to Manchester City to be the replacement for Rodri. If Rodri leaving is actually going to happen, I'm looking to go and take that position over because, one, I'm actually going to play in my proper position, which is the holding midfielder, not the number 8 shit. But like you said, he's doing the job for everybody else. But on top of that, Saliba's been here for 7 years. If everybody doesn't remember, Saliba knows that he would have been sold if he wasn't as good as he was at Marseille when he was on loan. Everybody knows Arteta would have sold his ass. So
Rice is 27.
Right, exactly. Those are prime years. Could you imagine? Rice is going to be the replacement for Rodri. You get Rice for a solid 5 years to play in that midfield with those attackers, and Arsenal's to go on a rebuild. You're talking about another possible 4 years straight of Manchester City winning. If we were to give up, if we were to blow the lead from where we're at right now, it'd be
25, by the way.
Huh?
It's mad, isn't it? William Saliba's 25.
Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And he could, and like our friend Javier saying that Madrid's broke. Is Madrid really broke though? See, like Valencia to me is broke, but they're not. Madrid aren't Valencia broke, bro. Madrid could sell 2 players, have some sponsorship deals kick in, have some shirt deals upgraded. I mean, there's many resources Madrid could utilize to get hundreds of millions of dollars in if they needed to. They could take loans out on players. They could take another loan out on the stadium. They can do any sort of advertising that for us would be maybe 50 mil, then would be 80, 85, 90 mil, right? I mean, we're talking about one of the biggest sporting clubs in the world, New York Yankees level, right? New England Patriots level.
Imagine, and plus here, Imagine if the fallout happened to where Vinny or Mbappe left to go somewhere. How much money would they just command from one of those two players? Whatever your problems are or whatever you're looking at for signing, Real Madrid's right there. You know, the only caveat to that is that Perez hasn't been trying to spend crazy money lately, but you never know. He might have to turn around and start spending money because, look, I wouldn't doubt that Madrid looks at Saliba. Konate's fallen off a damn cliff. Because remember, Konate was the guy that was favored to take the job at Real Madrid once Saliba made that contract extension. So,
and how old is Rudiger? Rudiger's got to be 30, 31?
No, he's older than that. Rudiger's got to be 33, 34.
But he's still playing at a very high level.
Do you know what I mean? They can get anyone. So it's not kind of like it's not like they got such an ownership over Saliba. Hopefully not. But yeah,
but it's not having something over Saliba. It's when you watch every single interview that a big player does, they always say, "Well, if Madrid or Barcelona come calling, you have to go." You hear it no matter what with whichever player. You know, you got people who are in great situations at their clubs and then drop it all to just go to Real Madrid because it's Real Madrid. Look at Kaká. Kaká's worst decision, if we're looking at it, was going to Real Madrid. He should have never left AC Milan with the way he was playing, even with the youngsters that were coming in. But he still decided to go because it's Real. You know, we have to get it over the line. We don't. We're losing all our best players.
I was saying,
same with Timber.
Like Javier's got a point. Like Perez, maybe not spending money on defenders, but they've got young defenders. They got Dean Huijsen. They've got the Asensio kid, Rudiger, and maybe another name I can't think off the top of my head. They'll need some seniority in that back line.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I mean, I get what Javier's saying. True points, but I just feel like they're looking at a back line saying, okay, it's shaky. We're probably not going to win the league, right? And we need some senior leadership in the back line. And Saliba's got to be on their list. It has to be on their list.
That's what I was kind of saying, though. It's a list. Real Madrid can command a list. And so it's not like necessarily that Saliba is going to go from Arsenal to Real Madrid.
But he's on the list for sure.
It's real. Do you know what I mean? It's
real.
Yeah. I've got to bounce out. I'm getting called away.
All right, Jezzo.
I'm on granddad duties tonight, and
brilliant.
I've got the grandkids here tonight, and I could hear one of them's kicking off. So I've got to bounce, boys.
Thanks for joining, Jez. We'll catch up.
Have a good night, Jez.
Big up, Jez. Take care, man. Have a good night, Mo. Have a good night, bro. Have a good night.
Take care, boys. Take care. Look after yourselves. Right? Look after yourselves. Take care.
Appreciate it, Jez. Appreciate your time. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's here. Look at this whole circus that's going around Bastoni right now because he's possibly leaving Inter Milan. You know, I think this year after this World Cup, the transfer season is going to be an absolute fucking shit show and a circus because there's going to be players that pop up out of nowhere, like a James Rodriguez did, and is going to command big money and other stuff. You just don't know what the situation could entail. Plus, here's the other thing too. The other team that I would worry about with keeping tabs on Saliba is PSG. Marquinhos isn't getting any younger. Marquinhos is about 32, 33. You got that young kid, Pacho next to him. I mean, you put that young kid, Pacho, next to Saliba, you got a dominant center back pairing for, especially with them. You're talking about a solid center back pairing for 5 to 7 years at PSG, where you could run a major trophy every single season. So we can't lose this season. We cannot lose this season whatsoever. We have to get over the line at least for the league.
There could be a wholesale purge if we fail again. There could be a wholesale. There could be.
You would have to listen. We're
the only thing that won't make it the wholesale purge is the fact that Berto is going to have his fucking hands tied behind his back because these ridiculous albatross contracts that some of these players are on. How the hell is he going to shift them?
You got to take losses. You got to take losses. That's what it's going to be at the end of the day. Who's paying $60 million for Havertz with that contract?
Oh, bro!
I don't think any club is going to pay.
Who's paying who's paying 40 million for Odegaard? Like the people who were trying to say, "Oh, Arsenal's putting Odegaard up for sale for 80 million." Get the fuck out.
They ain't getting 80 million.
Ain't nobody getting 80 million for Odegaard. Big
Bro,
up.
if Odegaard, if they think
Big up
Odegaard
Waffle,
can be sold for 80 million, I can get a date with Sydney Sweeney. That's just a fucking travesty.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
What about Martinelli? What about if any Saudi club is going to pay him 180k a week? Would any Saudi club take Martinelli on 180k a week?
Martinelli's actually the easier one to move because he's basically a free transfer at this point. He has to go.
I think Martinelli's stock has gone up, Quaja, a bit because of his performances in the Champions League. 7 goals, 5 assists or something like that. I mean, let's be honest. I'm a Martinelli guy. I got the black kit with the name and number on the back, which I'll never fucking do again for any player ever, right? But I still think I think you said this too, Carl, on the stream the other day. He's useful off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
He does provide something off the bench. Now it's hit or miss. I get it. A lot of people are really steadfast, and he's got to go. He's not good enough, and there's a point of me that kind of believes that as well. But if you were to structure a deal, especially a Saudi club, scandalous! Come on, come on, Abs. If you were to structure a deal for Saudi, if you structure a deal for Saudi, right? He could play as a center forward. He could play as a striker, and you structure the right deal. I think some Saudi ownership would look at that and say he's very good in Europe, so he might be able to apply some of that in our league. I truly think that. I still think there's value there. Not 80 million.
I actually think you're kind of like right as well. Like he's an off the bench centre forward. He's an off the bench kind of like, oh well, we need someone to nick something. There's 20 minutes left, and it's a little bit peak at the moment. So let's just send Martinelli on because he's a bit of a fucking handful, isn't he? He's a bit quick, and like if he can actually sort of like get at you, like he's going to be a bit of a handful. Well, so there's a good chance of that.
Yeah, let me ask you guys this: if we had a different manager and Martinelli still played on the wing, maybe a little more centrally without his heels on the touchline, do you think we'd get more out of him with a different manager?
Yes, he was banging in goals for fun when he was playing as the main striker / centre forward.
Thank you.
Here, crazy take, right? Here's a crazy take.
No.
If you look at the way that we played in 22-23, right? He was basically a secondary striker. Both him and Saka were more strikers in the offensive phase of the game than what they are now. If you look at the way we played offensively, we looked very similar to Ancelotti's 4-4-2 diamond midfield in the 22-23 season. Trossard comes deep, gets on the ball. Martinelli and Saka's starting position is basically at the edge of the 18-yard box rather than being touchline wingers. So they're already more central. On top of that, you have Odegaard now being able to move into space because of where Saka and Martinelli's starting positions were, to where now Odegaard actually did affect the game going forward, where he was scoring goals and getting assists. Martinelli, to what your point was earlier, Dal, if you got a Simeone in here to do 4-4-2, he's perfect to come off the bench. If you got Martinelli's pace coming through the middle with a Sorloth holding the ball up for a Martinelli, and he's like your guy to replace Gyökeres, if you're going to go with like a 2-man up front, I would keep Martinelli and try him out for another season in that role. But if it's going to be another winger and it's going to be, we're going to do not that much different from Arteta touchline wingers, then no, get rid of his ass and get the money and start looking for somebody else that fits that description more. I think he should have been playing at a striker this entire time. It's also the same thing with Trossard. Trossard was never a left winger. He was always a number 10 or another striker when he was at Brighton. When he had Graham Potter played that 5-2-1-2. He was either the number 10 or the secondary striker. And then when De Zerbi came, he was either the number 10 or he was the false 9 for them in that 4-2-3-1. I mean, he was scoring goals.
Where does he play in the Belgium lineup?
In the Belgian lineup, he was a left wing, but he came in centrally to where he was like a secondary striker.
So a little bit more up the pitch.
A little bit more up the pitch when he would play with Belgium. But
big up James.
But at least with big up Jim. But at least with if we get back to 22-23, there's different. You then have a different conversation with players. My worry is that he's not going to do that. Big up Binks. He's not going to do that, in my personal opinion. I think that he's going to try to do the exact same thing he did now. And like I said, he's starting to come off like Conte. He's starting to come off with that arrogance like Conte, where he only wants proven players. He doesn't even want to try out the youth. He'll throw the youth in there if he's breaking records to act like he's investing in the youth. But I don't see him really doing that. I think he's doing that just for show. Like I fully expect Ethan Nwaneri and Skelly to be sold in the summer. I fully expect that's happening.
Honestly, Johnny, if that happens, especially about Ethan as well, because he's such a talented player. Ethan is so talented at just natural football ability, and it's wonderful to watch him play football and to try to play him, to watch him sort of like bringing everyone else into the game, and the way that a naturally talented footballer like that brings everyone else into the game, and just makes everything a lot more enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm. But if this manager gets rid of him, I don't know. I'm struggling to sort of say the next thing in the sense that like, I think it would be one of the really, really fucking appalling things to do. It was just an absolutely appalling thing to do. This guy is one of our most talented players, and we look like you're worried about it, Johnny. You just said we're worried about him getting fucking sold. How the hell is that madness happening? How are we even having that thought?
Right.
Yeah, but shit, it is what it is.
Because this fucking manager, man. Because this manager and his thought processes need to fucking go.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Waffle Don's asking what numbers you expect from Nelly. Listen, the thing with Martinelli is you're basically in a win-win situation with him because of the fact that we got him for $7 million. His books are paid, so it's basically pure cash plus getting rid of the contract. I mean, what? He's on 180,000 pounds a week, so that's roughly what, a 10 million, 10.5 million a season. So if you could get Martinelli sold for 30, 35 million with a total asset return at 45, I'm cool with that. But
yeah, I was just gonna say 35, 40.
Yeah, if you can get that for him, I'm cool with that. Yeah, Hincapié on loan too, and that's the thing. Hincapié is what, 50 million? 50 million euros is what they're asking for him?
Like that, yeah, 50, 55.
Yeah, so I mean, you're already down 50 because you have to buy Hincapié, and you still got to get rid of a lot of these other guys. You know, for me, I don't think we should sell Skelly or Nwaneri. For me, Skelly, Nwaneri, and Dauman should all be getting big-time minutes next year. You're going to need the fresh legs with the amount of players you've ran into the ground. That is a throwback. Aiden Januzaj, what a bum he was. What a fucking bum he was.
Yeah, he was trash. He was trash at United, and he was worse when he left.
Javi, we do use loan systems. The problem is we normally loan out the youngsters so we could sell them. And even then, we have a bad return with selling. I think isn't Emil Smith Rowe our biggest sale, like 30, 35 million at the most? Him and
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oxlade-Chamberlain or Iwobi.
I thought it was Oxlade-Chamberlain was the biggest.
But again,
that may have changed.
That hasn't been that much money if you add them up together. You know what I mean? So for me, at the end of the day, I don't want the youngsters sold. I think they should be a part of the program here. Mm-hmm. Jesus should be gone. Odegaard should be gone. Havertz should be gone. That alone is what, nearly 800,000 pounds a week gone off the salary
easily.
Jesus is what, 265? Havertz
probably, 280 is Havertz.
So that's 545 right there. And then Odegaard's what, 245 or is he 245?
I think he's like 280, 275, 280, I thought.
Jesus, yeah, you're talking nearly 900,000 at that point. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I said, $1 million a month. It's like we said, we throw around these numbers like, oh, he gets this much per week. Add it up a fucking month. We do. I mean, the way it works out. I mean, I'm sure it works this way in England, but for like me and Gianni, we get paid every 2 weeks. We look at our monthly income. What am my expenses this month? We're talking $1 million a month. It's fucking for players that have achieved nothing in 6 years.
Boy, if I was getting $1 million a month, I'd be one of the most craziest sons of bitches of all
Bro,
time.
this YouTube channel would be cooking, baby.
No, I'd be dead.
I'll be rich.
Yeah, I think I'd be dead
I'd
too,
be
to be
dead.
honest.
I'd
Be
dead.
divorced and dead.
Yeah. I'd be at the casino. I'd be at the high rollers room at the casino every day.
I thought you said casino.
Yeah.
I was getting $1 million, if I was
$1 million's not enough, James. $1 million's not enough, Jim.
$1 million, $1 million a month. Yeah. I'd be having fun at the casino.
Man.
Yeah,
I think that's the last place I'd be.
You want to hear a funny
I'd be at
story?
the Emirates, that's for sure.
You want to hear it? Fuck no. I wouldn't give my money to Arsenal until they started winning. Hey, someone has it on replay. I hear.
Is that me? That might be me. Is it me?
Me, I don't know.
But,
Is it me?
No, there it's
No?
gone. It might have been Jim. But for me, listen. I think if I was getting that much money, hell no, I'd be dead. You want to hear a funny story? Me and one of my buddies, he was blind drunk. I got off work late. He was at the neighborhood bar. I seen him. He was all fucked up. He goes, "I'm going home." I go, "All right, I'll talk to you later." He came back an hour and a half later with 15,000 in his hand. He goes, "We're going to the boat. The boat is the high rollers room at the Horseshoe Casino in Chicago, right?" We go to the Horseshoe Casino. He's playing 500 a hand on blackjack.
Oh God.
He loses the first 7 hands. He takes his drink. He pours it on the table. He goes, "We got to cool these cards down."
Shit.
When you're in the high rollers room, they don't care because you're spending money. You got to be coming with a certain amount of money to walk in there.
Yeah.
He walked in with 15 grand cash. He ends up winning his money back and takes 10,000 from the casino that night. And we got annihilated. I don't even remember getting home that night. That was a rough, fun night though for that.
A buddy of mine in outside of San Diego, there's a casino called Paula on the Indian reservation, and he put 100 in a slot and won 89 grand.
Good for him.
And he walked. He security. He walked out of there with the wire transfer of 65,000 after taxes.
Good for him.
Yeah, crazy. He sent me a picture of it. He was like, "Bro, look, it's like $100." Fucking said 89,670 something. I was like, "Holy shit!" It's like, damn, that's nuts. He was just like losing his mind. That's a shit ton of money to win in one time.
You guys get comp to Villa. They usually comp. Hell no, not in Chicago, brother. They know
You've watched too many fucking American comedies for that.
Those are Florida casinos.
Aston Villa is what these Arsenal fans think we are. That's the club that they think we are.
Fuck the Villa.
That's the club that they think we are. They think we're. And the ironic thing is, Emery's the manager.
He goes, "Nah."
It's the most ironic thing. The universe writes.
Xavier knows.
The universe writes in such wonderfully ironic ways sometimes, and like the amount of shit that they give Unai Emery, and yet what he's done with Aston Villa is what they describe about for Arteta to a T. Fucking crazy.
Not only here, Villa's the perfect team that I would say that I see both Skelly and Ranieri going to. I could see Emery going.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I could see Emery picking up both of those guys and doing some damage with them to reinforce. Because there's all types of talk that us, Liverpool, City, and United are all in talks for Morgan Rogers for big money. If we bought Morgan Rogers, that paves the way for Ranieri and Skelly to go to Aston Villa.
Javier, no, it's not that we work. It's not that we get compared to Villa.
No, he's not. No, he's talking about a villa in Vegas. He's asking from the amount of money that like my guy was gambling at the casino if they would have comped us a villa to stay there, not Aston Villa. They do that certain times, Javi. It depends how much money you're playing.
But it is amazing, isn't it, when you think about like how the Arteta sexuals talk about kind of like, look how far he's brought us. Look at he's changed my life. Who could have done this? Who could have done that? Who could have gone into Aston Villa and done what Unai Emery did? There's not really many other options. And they then try to sort of they then denounce this guy. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry, just
And Unai Emery has a pedigree of winning trophies even over Arteta.
With small
Make it
clubs
make
too.
sense.
With small clubs too. Sevilla wouldn't be $1 billion worth of money. Wouldn't be $1 billion club if it wasn't for everything that Unai Emery did with that team.
And he had to deal with Neymar at PSG.
Well, Neymar is the reason why he got thrown out at PSG, because he was trying to stop the partying and everything else. See?
Right. He had to deal with him.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's a hard talent to kind of wrap around. I'm kind of on the youth thing, man. It's like if we get rid of Skelly, I want a fucking winner in. Morgan Rogers, okay, but I want a fucking winner. And I'm not at this point. The way we've been going, I'm not big into like promoting the youth's fucking future. Does that make sense? I know that sounds kind of wrong in a way, because I do believe in our academy, the Hale End. I think we're up in there. But at the same time, it's like I want to win trophies, not just bring up these youngsters' career.
Yep.
Right. I just, and that's why it's like, for me, slaughter me if you want. I could let Lewis Skelly go in the summer as long as we brought in a proven winner. I think Lewis Skelly is good. He's decent, right? But he's not getting the minutes. He's never going to be a midfielder, right? That's just not, to me, that's just not going to happen. Yeah, he'll play there off and on, right? Maybe get some minutes there, maybe. Hasn't really much this year. Definitely didn't do it much last season, even though he was inverted, right? I just think that I want winners, guys, and I just kind of over this. Oh, let's promote the youth. Oh, look at Calafiore, he's 23s. Isn't he great? Like, I don't give a fuck. I want winners.
Calafiore fucking blows. He can go.
I just
send him to Rome.
What young player has Arteta made better, by the way? What young player has Arteta made better? Who's anyone beyond the midfield or defence? Nobody.
Silence is golden.
Crickets.
Well, I'm trying to find the argument for Saka, because Saka was a left back / left-sided mid in that or a left wing back when he took over first and eventually moved him into the wing. But I'm wondering if Saka's talent alone is more responsible than Arteta.
Yeah, he is a forward player, though, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Arteta also played him at right wing back as well. He played him on the left and at right wing back as well. And then I remember he moved Tierney to left wing back, and moved Saka to right wing back as well.
Yeah. See, for me, Saka may be the only one you can make an argument for, but at the same time, even if you made Saka better, he's also ran him into the ground. Why Saka's shit now?
I would say absolutely not, because it's like he's just like, he had this potential. He has. I don't want to sound like so kind of like harsh or whatever, but like he has destroyed this light. He's destroyed his light.
100%. Listen, but I guarantee you,
it's inexcusable.
It is April 8th. Unless something dramatically changes, by this time next year, we will be having the conversation, how much do we have to eat on Saka? How much money are we going to lose? How much money are we not going to get for Saka because of 300,000 pounds a week, plus whatever his insane goal add-ons may be? You know what I mean? That's listen, from what I've seen from Saka, I don't see Saka being that good from here on out. I think Saka's going to have a big what if story around him unless a different manager comes in and plays him in a different way to try to get the most out of him. Because this way, Saka shot. I don't see Saka doing anything to tear up the league again. But Carl, I know you got to go, bro. Do you want to shout out your channel and what you got going on, my guy? And before you go, what's your prediction for Bournemouth?
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. Bournemouth have had a month off, so they're going to be very well rested, but they could also be a little bit rusty going into that game as well. So it's a catch-22 situation. I go 2-1 Arsenal. But no, thank you for having me on, mate. Much appreciated. I've got to go to bed. My eyes are stinging me, and I've got another long day on my child. The Easter holidays need to really do one. Really need to do one right now. But yeah, you'll find me on YouTube, Rufus Schooner. You'll find me on Instagram, Rufus Schooner35. We'll be going live at some point tomorrow. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet. I didn't do a recap on the sporting game because, well, there was nothing to really recap. Frankly, it would have been a short, let alone a fucking live stream. So, but yeah, I'll be doing a live show tomorrow at some point in the day. Big up to everyone's locked in. Make sure you keep liking. Make sure you keep subscribing. Make sure you get this legend to 400 subs expeditiously. I don't know how far you are away, Gianni, but you can't be that far away now, surely.
Last I saw was 373.
Come on, 27. You're not a million. You're not far away. Come on, let's get him to 400.
Come on now.
Big up, gents. Big up, chat. And I'll see you. And see you in the next one.
Big up, Carl.
Okay,
Big up, Carl. Good night, man. Take care, man.
Big up, Carl. Trying to think. I'm having a brain fart of what we were. Let's look ahead to this Bournemouth game.
Yeah, we were going to talk about Bournemouth probably. And it's like,
So what Carl was saying, they've been off for a month, close to a month. They could be rusty. They may be fresh. They'll definitely be fresh, which is a worry because a fresh team, if they can actually play the way we know how sometimes Bournemouth could play, could be very tricky. I mean, they did do the double over us last year. So do you guys, what do you think about this Bournemouth game? I personally think if we get the win against Bournemouth and City lose to Chelsea, I'm finding it very hard to see if City drop points to Chelsea, whether it's a loss or a draw, if we go out and handle the business and beat Bournemouth, I think this title is pretty much wrapped up. Or am I being too positive here?
No, I think that's kind of logically sound. But like the problem with what we've got looking forward to the next few weeks is like we've just lost to Southampton at home. We've just very much struggled against Sporting Lisbon. And we've got 6 games left? Bloody hell. I mean, it's kind of like I'm not massively confident. Like I'm not just so like, I'm just so relaxed. You know, it's going to be cool. Everything's going to be fine. I mean, it's like bloody hell, man. And this is why I go back to my original point of please, Mikel, you've done all right for us. And I'm not trying to say that you've done a bad job. But for you to be paid £15 million now and to be at this football club with all its tradition and all its history and all that we represent as Arsenal Football Club, it's not good enough. And you need to go. It's not good enough. You need to go. It's not horrendous. Well, it's kind of horrendous, to be fair. But like,
it's kind of
fucking go. You need to fucking go. And I've just had enough now. I've just honestly, I'm glad we've got this community that we're sort of starting to build as well. Like it's been really great to sort of like start interacting with you guys more recently. Because obviously, this is like my first couple of weeks that I'm jumping on streams and stuff. But yeah, I'm just really like being like grateful to have you, Gianni, as well, giving the platform to people to kind of speak their thoughts about things. And I've just had enough of it now. I've just had enough of it, especially because like all my mates are fucking Spurs and Man United fans. That doesn't help me either.
Yeah. No, listen, I think with this Bournemouth game, I think the win against Sporting will definitely give us some confidence. But the worry is not about confidence. The worry about me is there any juice in the legs to keep pushing forward the way we should be, which is what worries me, especially a team that's well rested. Now, what do you make of this Bournemouth?
I'm going to predict it 2-0. I'm going with like what Quadro's saying there in the chat. I think yesterday's performance, although we know isn't the best, I think the players know it wasn't the best. I truly believe that. And I'm sure Arteta, as much as I disdain him, knows it wasn't the best, right? But the confidence is massive.
Mm-hmm.
The confidence at this point in the season is massive. And I just feel like we can take care of Bournemouth. Now, Daddy Welbeck, not Teddy Welbeck, I'm thinking Brighton, sorry. If Evan Nielsen is a good striker, and they have that Junior Krope guy who's pretty damn good too, right? And they have that Brazilian winger Rayan, Ryan.
Right.
Who I actually rate, looks to be the real deal as well. So they have some heavy hitters, right, that can score. But like Quadra was saying, I just think the confidence is there, right? And again, it's still how we escaped out of there was brilliant, right? It really was. It was in moments, and we may have those moments of the game's at the Emirates, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's even more of a confidence booster. The crowd will be behind the team, and like Rob was saying, there's 6 games left. And if City draw, like you were saying, if City draw with Chelsea, that's massive in our favor, right? We're talking 11 points ahead if we win, which I think we'll win. And I don't know. I think the legs will be an issue, but I think we have enough depth, not good quality depth, right? But we have enough depth that can get the job done at home on the day. And again, the confidence, the motivation, that'll be the wind in our backs. And I think that I think it'll happen. I just think it'll happen. I think Bournemouth just, they're not very good defensively. Again, I've already mentioned 3 of their best attacking players that can do damage. But if Saliba and Gabriel are on it today, I mean, we've seen it. Like it's an impediment. What's that?
The problem is we have to do it 6 times. And
right, we do. And City, I think we drop points at City, and Newcastle will be a battle. And I would not leave out West Ham to get a draw as well. I don't think we'll lose to West Ham, but I think that could be a draw because Nuno hasn't played well, and all those bottom teams are fighting for points. Right? West Ham has had our number in the future, right? Did they have our number last season, the season before last? They beat us, I thought, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the run-in. So no, I'm 100% with what Claude's just saying, that the confidence and the motivation from what we went through yesterday will be the driving force to get this job done, and I think it's going to be 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, listen. If City drop points to Chelsea and we win, I think it's pretty much all but over then, because
we definitely will have 2 hands on the trophy.
Yeah, you got plenty of breathing room to where you could take an educated gamble and actually rest some players to where if you want to go, because again, you got to go full throttle at Atletico if you want to get over them. If we half-ass show up against Atletico could beat us.
Right. I think we played the best 11 we can on Saturday, and we by all means play the best 11 we can on Tuesday or Wednesday against Sporting.
But how are you going to deal with Atletico? Because this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, what would your tactics be for Atletico? Like, we can't beat Atletico. I'm sorry, but like, I'm not trying to be sort of like overly negative, but we just not got enough, have we? I mean, like, we might be able to draw with them for 1 game.
Beat them 4-0, Rob. I mean, I know that's the past.
Yeah,
but
yeah. No, I know what you're saying. This is what they're going to fucking argue, isn't it?
Right.
And he's kind of like, well, the pressure is different, and the pressure is the main thing. Obviously, you know that because you're a smart guy, but like, these fucking idiots are going to try to argue with us that, like, oh, well, we're going to do it because no, you just don't fucking get it, do you? And we just, I'm so frustrated by these people, honestly.
See, I think the tactics with Atletico is the problem is in the game against Atletico, you're going to see more of the same of what you saw in the first half of Sporting.
The pressure of the moment.
No, 100%. Well, that's the pressure of the moment is what's going to be the deciding factor. If we step up to the plate,
yes,
then I think we can
because this guy is a fucking manager who hasn't done that before. I you get that. You're a smart guy. Everyone on this panel, everyone in this chat are smart people. You all get it. This manager has not done this before, and he needs to go. Sorry.
No, I hear it. Listen, brother, I hear it.
I need to apologize.
My thing is, the thing is, like when you were asking how you set up against Atletico, it's going to be the same thing of what we did against Sporting. The problem is that, again, with Atletico, it's going to come down to who's going to be available. That's why I said for me, it's a tough decision, but Eze should not play a single game until the City game. He should not play this game against Bournemouth.
Oh no, Gianni.
Brother, what happens if you rush him back and he gets hurt? Because if he plays this game against Bournemouth, he was supposed to be out for at least a month to maximum 6 weeks. You're rushing him back a week early to get the game over Bournemouth.
The Bournemouth one I would get, but I think it's Sporting. I think the Ties
City's the
Duncan
next game after
scored
that.
2 essentially. What's that?
That's what I'm saying. City's the next game after Sporting. So you go Bournemouth,
Yeah.
City. I would not play Eze the next 2 games.
I get your point.
Reports are coming out saying that Eze could return for this week's game. It could happen. I'm not gonna lie.
You're rushing him back at that point because
Right.
here, let's say you rush him back, he gets hurt, and then the worst situation happens to where now you get a draw against Bournemouth. Now you're hoping that Odegaard's going to carry you in the creativity department against the likes of City, Newcastle, and Fulham. That's your next 3 league games. It's all 3 teams that are fighting for European spots.
But be honest, guys, if we think about that, Gianni, he may start Odegaard regardless against City.
Oh, this is true as well. I was just going to say, knowing his stubborn ass, this may be the time for him to make Odegaard the permanent captain and starter again. Which, if he does that, then now it's just waiting to see what ends up happening.
And
but
we
I
know
know
that
this.
we know that
If he's the creator and the starter against Atletico in semis, we're not beating Atletico.
And we know that as they took time to get going after those injuries, so it may take more time after this one. I gotta take a call real quick.
True. No, that's true. But I just think that for me, rest Eze the next 2 games, give him maximum amount of rest and see what happens.
Do you know what's funny about that picture that he's put up? It's a wonderful actual picture of Fabregas with his old mullet. I managed to get to Highbury when Cesc Fabregas made his debut. This was against Rotherham, and it was a 1-1, and we won on penalties 10-8. 10-9, I think. Anyway, we won on penalties against Rotherham, and Cesc Fabregas came on as a debut, basically, and he was wearing this mullet. And this is why I'm kind of like sort of fairly charmed by this picture of Cesc Fabregas in his mullet, because like it didn't look that great at the time, but whatever. It was £10, by the way, £10 to get to that. I was in the East Stand of Highbury. I paid £10 to get to stand in the East End of Highbury, which, to be honest with you, now I put it like that, sounds like a fucking massive privilege. £10 in the East Stand as well, and it was very close to the goal. So it was very. I don't know how to describe it. Do you understand? But like, it was just a very nice view, basically. Mm-hmm. And I paid £10 for that. And Highbury was such a wonderful place. Highbury, you walk to Highbury, and you absorb the atmosphere. Obviously, when you go to Highbury, and it was such a wonderful place. And I was really disappointed when we moved. But anyway, no mind. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I never got to go to Highbury, and I've never been to the Emirates. I've never gone to a game, and until winning becomes part of the culture again, where we're constantly winning trophies, I don't foresee myself spending money to go to an Arsenal game. In my personal opinion, if I don't give no fucking money to the Chicago Bears, you think I'm flying? You think I'm flying a fucking 7-hour flight to England to go pay money?
No.
It ain't fucking happen. It ain't fucking happening. Ain't giving my money to a team that's not serious. Not doing that whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, listen, the Bournemouth game for me, like I said, it if you go out and win, you never know what could happen. I doubt, me personally, I think City might mop the floor with Chelsea. That might be another 3-4-0 win for them, if I'm being quite honest with you. I could very easily see them destroying Chelsea. And
sorry to interrupt. The wife's car is overheated at the fucking coffee shop, so I gotta. She bought a 2024 Grand Highlander, and the fucking thing's giving us nothing but problems. These brand new cars, fellas, stay the fuck away. Trust me, stay away from any new fucking car built after 2020. God damn. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Great show, Gianni. Great seeing you guys.
All good.
And let's hope for the fucking 3 points on Saturday. Yeah. Come on, you Gunners. Cheers, fellas.
Take care, Gal. Take care, Del. Take care, man.
Do you think that how likely is the sort of 3 points? I feel like we are actually going to weirdly, sort of ironically in a strange way, win this game quite comfortably. And I actually it's a bit of a weird one, obviously, because of my sort of general opinion of Arsenal at the moment. But I just feel like the patternistic form of everything is kind of like we were the last team to beat Bournemouth.
Yep.
I think this is going to be very much in our favour, and it's going to be very much psychologically in our favour. And we are not playing very well as a team. I'm not trying to say that we're going to do this because we're bloody tactically amazing. I just think psychology is a very big part of this game, and we are going to beat Bournemouth. It's what's after that is more my concern. So I think that this game we're going to get through. Okay, not okay, but it's going to be a difficult game. Don't get me wrong. But I think we're going to get through it, get the 3 points. It's what happens after that, which is more my concern. Because I can see what's happening. I can see what's going to happen.
I think we beat Bournemouth, and like I said, for me, I think we still get over the line against the line. I still think we get over the line against Sporting. The question then becomes City, which AJ actually puts this question in for all of us. He goes, question, gents, if we draw away at City, is that the League One? Because AFTV are saying that. If we beat Bournemouth and they drop points to Chelsea and we draw at the Etihad, yeah, the season's done for me. I think we win. But only if they drop points to Chelsea. Only if they drop points to Chelsea. I think here, if we drop points to City, if we draw City, then it's Newcastle, it's Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, and then Crystal Palace is the last game of the season.
Yes,
I think if we get a draw, against City, I think we're fine. If I'm being quite honest with you, we'd have to have a major fuck up in order to fuck that up.
This is what he's going to do, isn't it? It's kind of like this is how he's kind of winged it. He's so frustrating, isn't it? Like bloody hell! Like it sort of was set up for him to wing it, and he's winged it. Oh well, okay. Let's say it's not quite happened yet, but it looks very likely that he's going to wing it, and it's just irritating. It's kind of like how can people judge and like look forward, let's say extrapolate to sort of like 5 or 6 years into the future and think that this is going to be something that I want to experience? I'm just bloody tired of experiencing this, to be honest with you. I've had 20 odd years. I've had 16, 17 years of Wenger messing everything up. And, that was since 2004, by the way, when, things were looking really decent at 2004, but that all got fucked up. So I'm just, mate, honestly, I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired of it, man.
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. It's like I said, for me, it's a situation of, I think it's a situation where it comes down to, how do I word this? It's a weird situation because you want the best for the club, and the worry is that if you do win the league, he's going to get a contract extension, and depending on what happens, that may not be the best thing for the club.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation like that. And I hear it because again, you. Like
what they don't understand, Gianni, like we've said before, it's like they don't understand.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
No, all I was going to say, Gianni, is they don't understand that the problem with that is we don't foresee him winning more trophies. They can't understand that.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, exactly. This is the thing for me is that okay. He wins the league this year. He gets a contract extension. If he comes back next year to where he stays within the top 3, but let's say by some miracle he wins the domestic cup double but doesn't win the league, I would actually let him stay because you've won 3 trophies in 2 years and you've kept up the level. Now, but it still goes on a year-by-year basis. I'm not keeping him if he goes into next year and it's just the FA Cup and we were in a top 4 battle. We're not even in the top 3 where everybody can see that the top 3 is so far ahead of the rest of the pack. If we're in that situation, then I would say no. Even if he wins the FA Cup, I'd let him go. Big up Chike. But you know, for me, like I said, it all comes down to the certain situation, you know. So it is what it is. If he bottled the league, then he's got to go. I mean, because if you're bad enough to bottle the league with this many points in an advantage, I don't foresee you winning in the Champions League. So, you know, he would go no matter what. Jim, I know you're a Barcelona fan. What did you make of that game against?
Hey, so am I.
Oh,
We're gonna come to you in a sec because your boy Gavi put in a fucking stinker.
Oh my god, the whole team other than Yamal, the whole team put a stinker in.
yeah. Well, that free kick from Alvarez. Oh, that was a crack.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That was a red for Barca player because he was the last man.
No, that's 100%. 100%.
To me, it looked like he barely touched him. It looked like he barely touched him.
It doesn't matter. It's last man. It's a last man. It doesn't matter by rule. It's a red card no matter what. Doesn't matter if if it was just a finger on him. It's a red card.
So even if there was no VAR back in the day, or I shouldn't
It's
say
a red card. Because back in the day he gave him a yellow card because he thought Simeone was flopping. The problem is that it wasn't a yellow card for the foul. They thought that Simeone was flopping. That was the initial call. Because if you saw when the referee came back, he showed the yellow card and went like that. That's what they have to do for protocol now. So if they gave you a yellow card and they rescind it, they show the yellow and then they go like this so that they show that you're not on a yellow anymore. But it was 100% a red card, 100% a red card. So you know it is what it is.
What it is.
But you know, like I said, Atletico's not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. Let's just get that.
No, hell no.
Atletico, neither one of these teams is an easy game for Arsenal. Atletico makes a different game than what Arsenal would be expecting to do against Barca. See, for me, if Barca comes back, we're going to do the same thing. Try to get one goal early and then sit back and absorb pressure from Barcelona. If we go up against Atletico, the onus is on us to go forward. The onus will be on us to go forward. So now you run into a situation where you're playing possession football, but if you fuck up and get caught out, that counterattack of Atletico is serious. And again, like Sporting Lisbon was their own worst enemy in that game against Arsenal yesterday. Let's just get it right. Sporting Lisbon did the exact same shit that fucked up Leverkusen in the second game against Arsenal. They tried playing out from the back, which they didn't absorb the pressure from the attack from Arsenal in the beginning. They created way too many problems for themselves with the amount of turnovers they had in their own area. If you look at the amount of times that fullback ran and was wide open on the left-hand side against Ben White, they could have had a lot more opportunities. Like the first 20 minutes in the second half when they just started attacking us, we could barely control Sporting Lisbon. You know, it was on David Raya. For me, you get an Atletico, completely different situation. So, you know, because like here, again, Eze, for me, does not play the next 2 games because he has to play if we go up against Atletico. You need a creative player to that level. Odegaard ain't going to do a fucking thing against that midfield against Atletico. That sideways bullshit and all that other shit, looking like a Subaru driver in the process and everything else. No, he's not doing no creative attack from there. So for me, Atletico poses a different problem. Like I said, if that young kid striker from Leverkusen gave Saliba and Gabriel problems, what do you think Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann do to them?
And this is these could be Griezmann's last 5 games because he's going to the MLS in the summer. So he's definitely going to want to go on a high.
Yeah,
and he's still clinical. I remember him when he scored he scored an equalizer against Bayern. It was 1-on-1 and he wasn't going to miss. So he's very clinical.
What he did against Spurs. What he did against Griezmann. Griezmann's still a top quality player, even at his age. He's still a top quality player. And again, that he's a problem for that back line with us. He could be he could be a major problem for us to deal with in that back line going up against them. Again, the issue is that if it's different, it's a different game for either team that you play. Now, like I said, the other game, PSG look like they're ready to run over everybody. So that matchup between PSG and Bayern will be sick. Because I don't think Real Madrid's going to Germany and beating Bayern Munich at this point.
No, they're getting slapped
totally.
up at the Allianz Arena. I don't see Real Madrid.
I wouldn't say slapped. We know
4-0.
I wouldn't
4-0.
say slapped. I would not say slapped.
But did you see Vinny's miss against the Bayern Munich? That was terrible from Vinny.
Yep.
This guy's a bum.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Did you think it was a penalty for Barcelona? Because I saw Barcelona fans' reaction when the goalkeeper kicked the ball to a Barcelona player and he touched the ball with his hand. Was
Oh
that a penalty?
yeah, that could have been.
Not really.
No.
I mean,
wasn't enough for me.
it happened against Bayern with us. You know, when Ray kicked the ball and Gabriel touched the ball. That we were very fortunate. I think that should have been a penalty. I mean, it's a clear handball, bro.
Yeah, but at the same time, it is in the Champions League. You're not going to get the same sorry. You shouldn't be getting. I'm not going to say you will. You shouldn't be getting those same sorry ass penalties that you get in the league. At the Champions League, the standard should be a little bit higher for that. So for me, I think that scenario at the end of the day, no, but it is what it is with that. Rob, I see you got to bounce, my guy. Appreciate your time as always. Do you want to shout out your channel before you bounce?
Yeah. Sorry, man. Yeah, I was just typing in a thing. Yeah. So I'm Rob Future. Yeah, this is we try to pick apart the worst of the fucking delusional Arsenal fan base.
Very, very smart.
That's what we try to do. Man. Yeah, and big up to you and the community and everyone else and you that's promoting it and allowing us to have like a sort of conversation, basically. So yeah, big up to you and yeah, bless you all. And I'm gonna head off, man. Cheers.
Big up, bro.
Take care.
Cheers, mate.
Big up, Rob. Have the rest of your night, my guy. But what did you make of the two games today, Chike? What'd you make of the Barcelona game? What'd you make of the PSG Liverpool game?
So I only watched the Barca Atletico game because I knew that PSG were going to smoke the shit out of Liverpool, and they did. How it was a lot more than 2-0 is remarkable to me. The Barca game, I mean, Barca were literally in control of the game until the red card, which changed everything. And I just feel like after that, they just couldn't do anything. And I hate to say it, but Barca are going to go out for me because I don't see them going away at Atletico and getting 2 goals, actually getting 3 goals, because even 2 goals will send them to extra time. So they really need 3 goals, and I just don't see them getting 3 goals in an environment that's going to be real hostile. There's going to be a lot of fans, and Atletico are just going to bully the shit out of them. So I think Barcelona are going to go out, and it pains me to say it because I picked them to win.
Do you think that? See, I think Barcelona could definitely score 2 or 3 goals. The worry is that I don't think that defense with Araujo as the center back rather than Kubarsi. I think that back line is prone to possibly getting sliced open if it's not Kubarsi back there over Araujo. So that's my thing. Listen, I would not be shocked if Barca came out and won the game 4-1 and it got to something like that to where they got over it. The thing with me with Barca is can the defense put a 90-minute performance together without giving up major opportunities to Atletico? Because Atletico's counterattack looks fucking serious right now.
And that's the worrying part, is that they're going to have to open up because they're behind now. And I just see Griezmann getting 1 goal, and then that'll just kill off the tie. Because at 1-0, you then have to score what? You'd have to score 4 goals to advance, or 3 goals?
4 goals to advance, 3 goals to go to extra time.
I don't see it. And it pains me to say because I picked Barca. And I don't see it. I don't see it, Gianni. I really don't. As great as Yamal is, and he was cooking. How he didn't get the Ballon d'Or last year is a disgrace to me. But I do like Dembele, but Yamal is clearly the best player. It's not even close. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's gonna most likely be, and things could happen. Either Atletico, Arsenal, or Atletico Sporting.
What do you make of Flick taking Pedri off?
I did not understand
I didn't
that.
understand that move.
I didn't understand that either. I had no idea what he was thinking.
Yeah, I thought there was a suspect move by him. I thought there was a suspect move because even with 10 men, they were dictating the pace of the game. Even with 10 men, they were dictating the pace of the game. And I just didn't understand. If you're still dictating the pace of the game, why are you taking Pedri out? I mean, Pedri had a yellow card in the game, no?
No.
Did he get a yellow card in the game, or was it somebody else that did?
It was somebody else, and I couldn't remember who it was.
Hold on.
But no, I don't think Pedri got booked. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Michael, I kind of disagree. Pedri's not overrated. There's no way that Pedri's overrated.
No,
that is
What?
not even
Who
a
said Pedri's
possibility.
overrated?
How is
No,
Pedri
he's not.
overrated? He's the best midfielder in the world, bro.
No, he's not overrated at all. I
Who
want
are
to know
you
who
saying is
said
better
Pedri's
than Pedri in the midfield, bro?
Pedri's not
The
overrated.
best three midfield pairing is fucking Pedri, Valverde, and Vitinha.
Absolutely. I want to know who said Pedri's overrated.
Yeah, Bellingham is overrated. If anybody's
Thank you.
overrated.
He's
Yeah.
massively
Bellingham is
overrated.
definitely overrated, but come on.
And so is Vinny to an
Pedri's
extent.
clear Vitinha. Pedri's miles clear Vitinha.
Facts. And so is Vinny Jr. Vinny Jr. is massively overrated. I don't care what anyone tells me. He's massively overrated.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about midfielders. I'm just trying to see like who else like here. If he wasn't fucking injury prone all the damn time, Danny Olmo's a very good midfielder.
Oh, he's a bowler. No,
So-
Pedri didn't get booked.
Yeah, no, I
Sorry,
just looked it up. Pedri didn't get
No,
booked.
Yeah.
okay. No.
Javi got yellow on the 66th minute. Javi, Barca player, got put on.
Oh,
the
Gavi, the substitute that came in.
Yeah.
And I think he came
yeah.
in for who did he come
Oh,
in for?
Cancelo too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
oh,
Coca got yellow, Baena got yellowed, Pubil got, and that's the other reason why I'm a little. The other good thing about Atletico is that we don't know that if Hanko is injured for that, then I'm very positive for Arsenal because Hanko is a very good center back for them. So if Hanko's hurt, I could definitely see Arsenal giving it more of a go against Atletico. Like I said, my worry is that if Odegaard's the man creating, if he's going to be the attack, I'm a little worried of how that's going to go, especially when you look at the counter-attacking ability that Atletico has. That's my worry with that whole thing. But I don't know.
If I was an Arsenal fan as well, I'm worried about where you're gonna get some kind of offense because I don't see any type of offense from Arsenal. From being honest with you, except Max Dallman.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why I said in a game against Atletico, the problem is we're going to be dictating majority of the game, and I don't see any offense coming. So if you got no offense coming from there, it's basically you need to get lucky, and you need to hope that you don't have a mistake to where they can punish you on the counter. Again, that's my worry. That young kid's barely 20 years old. I think he's 19 years old. The kid that was on Leverkusen that was giving Saliba and Magalhaes a problem. Now you're dealing with guys like Julian Alvarez, Antoine Griezmann. You're talking about a matchup with what's his name? Calafiori against Simeone.
Oh God.
And then if what's his name? If I can't believe I'm forgetting it. If Timber's not healthy,
oh geez,
now you're talking about a Ben White matchup against Lookman.
oh.
That's where my worry comes in with Arsenal with that.
No, I completely hear it, and neither game for Arsenal is going to be easy. But if there is a team that you prefer to play, it's Atletico because Barcelona they'll keep the football on the floor, and you'll just get outplayed for 180 minutes.
See, no, because I actually like our chances. Not that I like our chances more. I think the fact that Arsenal is better being more defensive than they are in the attack, I actually like more of the matchup against Barcelona. It's just, do we show up, and if we have enough juice in the legs to handle it? So,
And that's what I'm saying as well.
right. No, I hear you. But here's the flip side. If you know that Odegaard's running the offense, that all Atletico's got to do is sit their 4 guys in the box and head all the balls out of the way.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad for Arsenal. Because I don't see Odegaard creating shit against this Atletico team that can sit back.
Yeah. No,
So,
100%.
I don't know.
100%.
I really don't know. But all I care about is that Madrid lost, and Madrid may go out, and that'll be a sick tie with PSG and Bayern, which really should be the final. But fortunately, that's not how it works nowadays.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But listen, guys, I'm going to wrap early tonight. I got some stuff that I got to take care of. So we're going to end here tonight. Appreciate everybody's time as always. Real quick before we go, Quaja, what's your predicted score for Brentford, for Bournemouth? And what do you think ends up happening in the Champions League? What do you think the semifinal matchups are going to be?
So for the Bournemouth game, I think we can win, but I think it's going to be a stinky one. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. And for us, I think, listen, we can say Atletico Madrid can go through. However, it's not done yet because, remontada. Because, when Atletico Madrid were 4-0 up in the first leg, I think, of the Copa del Rey. And Barcelona came close to completing the remontada. So, Atletico Madrid can throw this away. You never know with Barcelona. So I'm not going to diss out Barcelona yet, because if they do go through and we face them, it's going to be a long day for us. So, and people are going to talk about their high line. Yeah, we couldn't expose Man City's high line, let alone theirs. So what are we doing here? I feel like Atletico Madrid can stink it out. I'm going to go for maybe a 1-1 draw at their stadium. I just feel like Atletico Madrid will be stinking it out, and they know that a draw is going to be enough for them to go through. They obviously want to score more goals, but I just feel like it's going to be a draw. I've gone 1-1 draw on that one. For us listen, 1 goal is not enough for us. Of course, we all know that, because Arteta would be trying to play for a draw, because, Arteta's a dumb idiot. He loves playing for draws. And I feel like we're going to stink it out. I'm going to go 2-1 to us, 3-1 on aggregate. For the Liverpool game, I mean, it's going to be a big ask for Liverpool. I mean, PSG should have won the game 5-0. Let's be real. The amount of chances they had, Liverpool had 3 shots, none on target. They showed no fight, bro. Big up Toronto. They showed no fight, bro. Let's be real. I think Liverpool, it's at Anfield, but I'm going to go for a draw. I've gone 2-2 on that one. I just don't see Liverpool getting anything out of the PSG game. So I'm going to go for a draw on that one. 4-2 in aggregate to Paris Saint-Germain. Let's see who else. Let me see.
Bayern
Munich, yeah. It's at the Allianz Arena. Yes, I have to admit I did say smoking, but I just feel like that Bayern team, the quality that they have, it's dangerous. Diaz, Olise, Kane, Gnabry, Kimmich, Pavlovic. I feel like they're gonna win the game. I'll probably say 2-1 Bayern Munich, and they'll win 4-2 in aggregate.
What do you got for Arsenal and Sporting again?
I've gone a stinky 2-1 Arsenal win, 3-1 on aggregate.
Okay. Jim, what do you make of the rest of these Champions League? What do you think the semifinal matchup will be, and then what do you think about what's your score prediction for Bournemouth?
First of all, I'll go Atletico versus Barca. I'll go for a 3-1 Atletico Madrid.
Really?
Because I don't think we'll beat Atletico Madrid, to be honest, at their home ground. Because I watched Barca play today, and they had chances and we couldn't take them. And for the PSG and Liverpool game, PSG should have slapped them 4-0, but 2-0 is an alright score. And I think PSG will will win like 2-0 at Anfield, 4-0 on aggregate. And in the round of and Bayern Munich game, I'll go for a 2-1 Bayern win. And that'll be 4-2 on aggregate. Yeah. And in the Sporting and Arsenal game, I'll go for 1-0 Sporting. I think we'll win on penalties, to be honest.
You're trying to give me a heart attack, dude? I don't want to see no fucking penalty.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get stoned out of my fucking mind in order to deal with it.
I don't like penalties myself.
Yeah, the penalty. Oh, God. I don't do some penalties. I really don't.
Because you know Arteta will play out for a draw.
He's going to the Emirates to sit back and play defensive and want us to hit them when they leave themselves open. That's definitely going to be the game plan against Sporting. I 100% agree. It's just I just don't want. I don't want us playing for penalties. BBK's going.
Big up, Taryn.
One big up, Taryn. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to see us do that. Well, what's your prediction for the Bournemouth game?
I'll go for a stinking 1-0 Arsenal win. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be like a scam penalty or something. And then the donkey scores.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hate that motherfucker.
Yeah, we'll get rid of him in summer.
Chike.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry that you hopped on a little late, my guy.
Don't worry about it.
Stuff at work. What's your prediction for the rest of the Champions League? What do you think the semifinal matchups will be? And then what do you think with this Chelsea and City game? Do you think City's going to embarrass Chelsea? Do you think Chelsea might have something for City?
So for the Champions League, it's going to be PSG, Bayern, and Atletico, Arsenal. And for the Chelsea City game, I'm going to go 2-0 City.
Okay. Do you think, real quick, because I think if you guys drop points to Chelsea and we win, the season's over.
Yeah, completely agree.
Okay. Because I think
agree.
if we beat Bournemouth and you guys draw to Chelsea, then it doesn't matter what happens at the Etihad. And to be honest with you, you have to beat us at the Etihad as well. If we go in and it ends up as a draw, then I think the league's over as well. You need that 6-point swing in your favor for it to happen there.
100%.
Really quickly as well, just because I'm thinking, is a domestic cup double enough for you to allow Pep to see out his contract, or do you want him gone at the end of the year if it's does it not matter to you if he wins the domestic cup double?
To me, it doesn't matter. He's been there for way too long, and I'd rather him go out, and I don't even know if this would go out on a high. I would rather him go out with something rather than nothing, because I don't even know what's going to happen next year. So even if we get a domestic double or treble, because that's not out of the question, the dream remains alive.
Well, listen, if you guys get a domestic trouble, then I think he has to see out his fucking he has to see out his contract, because if he wins a domestic trouble from this position, he has to see out his contract, whether you like it or not. I'm sorry, unless he just decides to walk. For me, listen, I would not be shocked if Barcelona figured out a way to do a remontada and beat Atletico Madrid. However, going to the Metropolitano, Cubarsi's out. Araujo is not that good of a center back, in my opinion.
Nope.
I think it's going to be a tall order, so I do think Atletico will go through. I do think Arsenal beat Sporting 2-0 at the Emirates. I think we end up going through 3-0 on aggregate. But that matchup against Atletico is not going to be an easy matchup, no matter what anybody says, in my personal opinion. I think PSG, I think Liverpool was very lucky. I do not see an Anfield night showing up, in my opinion. I think they were very lucky that 2-0 scoreline is all that it is. I think PSG go through, and I think, I think Bayern wins, but I just also have a feeling that something may happen with Real Madrid because they always just like to turn it on at random moments in the Champions League. By being fair to Madrid, Mbappe missed a chance that should have brought it level. Bayern was by far the better team, but you never know with this Real Madrid when it comes to Champions League. But I'm still sticking with Bayern. And this game for Bournemouth, I see a shitty 2-1. I see us scoring first, Bournemouth tying, and then us scamming it at the end to get a victory. But I would not be surprised if we drop points in this game. Would not. I think this Bournemouth and City matchup determines what ends up happening with the league. I think these next weeks determine what happens in the league. Can Napoli win the league? We will see this weekend. If Inter drop points to Como, and we win the game against Parma, who is notoriously a tough team for us, then we can dream because then we'll only be 4 points behind with 6 games left. So this weekend is going to determine if Napoli can win the league or not. So if they drop points, if they get a draw and we win, we'll be 4 points behind. We'll be 4 points behind them, or 5 points behind them. If they were 7 now, if they draw, they'll go 8-3. Yeah, we'll be 5 points behind with 6 games. It's tough, but it's not out the realm of possibility. We saw it last year with Inter bottle the league. They could very much do it again this year. I would love it if they did, but this year I think is a little bit more difficult because they're not in the Champions League to get the extra games to tire them out. So we will see. But yeah, that's going to be this run in the Serie A is going to be very interesting because the top 7 places are all up for grabs at this point now, this far into the season. So we'll see with what ends up happening. But big up to everybody that's been here. Big up to you guys. Always appreciate you guys giving me your time.
Big up to you, man.
Johnny.
We will redirect and go to Lee. Lee is live. We will redirect to Lee Gunner. Say Gianni. You can give him a Gianni raid. Appreciate everybody. I will be back tomorrow for another stream. We will be breaking down the Serie A tomorrow, as well as all the continual dramatic bullshit that's going on with this international team. So we will be back tomorrow, I think, at about 4:45 my time. We might push it up a little bit depending on what happens with work. But yeah, big up to everybody. Appreciate everybody's time. Hit Lee with the Gianni raid, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Take care, man. Take care.
Take care.
Yeah.